Hey, welcome to the Winnersville Classic 2022, the edition or the game of the year. We are coming to you live tonight at Joe Wilson Field at Martin Stadium in front of what appears to be, Scott, a capacity-only crowd.
Oh, yeah, it's sold out. That's why we're here.
That's exactly right.
It took selling out a stadium for us to have to do something, so that's why we're here.
Yeah. And we're happy to provide this service, even though, sometimes you have to charge for things like this. But it's a worthwhile endeavor. You're supporting this athletic program. You're supporting this school and this community, and we're glad to do it.
Well, and it costs money for us to be able to do this stuff, too. So I'm sure most of that is to cover the cost.
That's right. Scott, tonight we have a special football game, not just because it's the Winnersville Classic, but for the first time in many, many years, we have both teams in the same region again.
Yeah, it's been a while. It goes back to my days when I was out here at Lowndes. It was played the last game of the year, and most of the time that was for the region championship. So, yeah, this one it takes us back to those days of yonder years of hey, this is about more than just a crosstown rivalry. This is, for a position in the region and possibly state playoffs.
That's right. Let's talk about some of the particulars about this game. Valdosta is having its best start in many, many years.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, they're 6-0 for the first time since 2014. And they're ranked number 5 in the state according to the latest composite rankings. Now, they are also led by second-year head coach Shelton Felton, and he is an excellent football coach.
Very much so. Has a pedigree. He's been a college coach. He's been in many a high school. He's coached at Crisp County and did really big things there. Went to Tennessee and came back to Valdosta. So yes, great coach, and has turned Valdosta around and got them ready to play some football.
Absolutely. And he likes to, I've been told by our Valdosta counterparts on the radio crew tonight that he basically makes his bread and butter with the run game, but he will keep the defense honest by taking shots down the field. Do you expect to see that tonight?
You got to.
Yeah.
When you look at a balanced attack, that's what's going to win a ball game. And so if you're going to run the ball every play, they're going to stack the box, and it's going to make it, very difficult to be successful. So you got to pass, and they will pass. They have a young quarterback. They have a sophomore quarterback just like Lowndes, but they'll pass because you have to, because that opens up the run game.
Absolutely. Now let's talk a few minutes about our Lowndes Vikings.
Okay.
Lowndes got out to a shaky start, been up and down all year, and it's no secret that we started the season with a very, very young team. Remember, everybody remembers Ja'Cory Brown. It seems like he was here for 1,000 years.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But, he graduated and now is down doing some good things down at the University of Miami. But we've got another, a star in the making, in my opinion, in young sophomore quarterback Marvis Parrish.
And that's it. He's young. He's a sophomore. He's going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
But that's how you learn. And I can promise you the coaches don't want him to play worried about making a mistake.
That's right.
Make the mistake. We'll learn from it. We're going to build off of it. Play like your pants are on fire. And he did that last week. You look, he had 3 touchdowns rushing last week, 130 yards passing. So he's getting there. He's starting to mature a little bit, and he showed that to me last week in that big upset win over Grayson.
That's right. Now, Valdosta enters this game, like we said, at 6-0, but Lowndes has been up and down all year long. They're currently sitting at 3-2, but it's unusual for a 3-2 team to be ranked number 10 in the state.
Well, they played some good teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not like we're just playing patty cakes. Lowndes has come in and they played, what was the team out of Florida? I just went blank. That
American
come up
Heritage.
With all these, 5-star athletes that are going to all these Power 5 schools. And Lowndes played them tough. It was just too much, especially early in the year like that with a young team like we have, with so many sophomores and juniors that are running the show. That's
right. So let's go ahead and turn our camera to cover some of the pregame festivities that's happening at midfield. So I'm being told that that's going to occur in a couple of minutes.
Well, this is the great American rivalry game this week.
Yeah.
And the Army goes around and does different things to promote rivalries across the U.S., and they're here every year.
Yeah.
because they know this is the premier rivalry in the country.
Yeah, this is such an awesome scene. So since we're live streaming on the internet, there are probably people all over the country and
Absolutely.
really all over the world, considering our military deployed Vikings that are watching this game tonight. Guys, it's just like you remember it. The stadium is to capacity. They're doing the pregame festivities. The Georgia Bridgemen are surrounding the field. The marching cats are already in their I guess, band area over there, and it looks like we're ready for a great game of football.
Well, I want to go back and talk a little bit about what we saw in the pregame.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about the tradition of South Georgia football, and one of the things that I noticed, and you noticed, Valdosta still with the big circle, and I want to say they do it as we're a circle, we're a big family. It's a circle that never ends.
That's right.
And it's so cool to see that. As somebody that's been around here for 52 years, to still see that happening every game, even amongst few new coaches and all that. That tradition stays, just like this game.
Absolutely. Now the Wildcats are built on tradition. That's if you ask any Wildcat in this town, they talk about their 23 state championships, 6 national championships, and all the tradition of winning they've had over the year. Now we mentioned that they're currently 6-0. Are they returning to the traditional Wildcats of old, where they just win?
Well, I think they're on the right track to do so. That is, it's yet to be determined. I think they're on the right track. We're Lowndes guys.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, I hope they win every game of the year except one.
Absolutely. And that's tonight.
Right. And I hope tonight's a close, good ball game and we squeak it out at the end. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I want and the thing is so much of what you would call the hatred.
Right.
It's not the kids on the field. They grew up playing together.
That's right.
They love it, man. When it's over with, they hug each other's neck, and it's all fine and dandy. It's so much of the other people that's out there that creates the hatred part of it.
Exactly right. So some of the fun stuff that we've seen in this series in the recent past is there seems to be streaks between the two teams.
Yeah.
Now, Lowndes has owned this series as of late. Now, we talked about Ja'Cory Brown graduating last year and going on to the University of Miami, but Ja'Cory Brown and his seniors that were here 4 years, they've never lost to the Valdosta Wildcats because Lowndes has won it 5 years in a row. So this is a new crop of kids for Lowndes. Are they going to extend this winning streak, or is Valdosta going to take over?
I think this is, in my opinion, this is two really evenly matched teams.
Right.
And if you were to look at it on paper, Valdosta comes in with a better record. They're going to be the better team. None of that matters in this game. It really doesn't. I don't care. It's rare for us to look down there on this field and say that one team is just going to completely outmatch the other. And even then, you don't never know.
Exactly right.
These guys are going to come out, and they put it all on the line because there is bragging rights.
That's right.
Okay? And so you never know. This game should never be even talked about on paper because paper doesn't matter. Until they get between the lines, anything can happen.
You're exactly right. Last year we saw that, Ja'Cory Brown and that high-flying offense under Jamie DuBose, who has recently departed. Zach Grage is now the new head coach of the Lowndes Vikings.
He's not dead.
Oh, well, that was
recently
a misstatement.
departed.
So, Jamie DuBose, if you're watching tonight, that came out kind of wrong.
Yeah, he went back to Alabama, so yeah.
So don't be spreading rumors out there.
You're right. You're right. But we'll see what happens. That's why we're here, is to watch this one tonight and to see who's going to walk away with the bragging rights again this year.
Let me ask you something about these two teams. Valdosta is 6-0, Lowndes is 3-2, but you and I were talking during the pregame. But Scott, it just seems like this year, more than any time in the recent past, these two teams on paper seem to be so evenly matched.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities. Both of them have sophomore quarterbacks. That's just the start of it. There's a lot of similarities between these two teams. They're both well-coached teams. Both of them have tradition. Yes, Valdosta's tradition is a little longer just because they've been a school longer.
Yeah.
Lowndes High's been around 50 years. They've been around, 150 or something like that. So there is going to be a lot of tradition in that. But when these guys, I'm just telling you, man, you just don't ever know.
You never know. Now, let's speculate a little bit.
Oh.
So, coming into this game, Valdosta is known as a run-first team, very good run offense.
Right.
They also are known as a very, very stout defensive team. On the flip side, Lowndes got a really good defense, and they're known as a running offense as well. So, both teams kind of mirror each other. Something's got to give tonight.
Yeah, some guy had to hit Jackson Hill as he went walking by. It's one of Lowndes High's baseball players. I was looking a little bit at the stats for the Lowndes game. I mean, they absolutely dominated on the ground last week.
Yeah.
Valdosta's been doing the same thing. So, I think one of the things we got to really pay attention to early is who is going to take control of the line of scrimmage.
Right.
The big hogs in the middle sometimes get overlooked, but a lot of times that's where a game is won and lost. Is right up in the front line.
Absolutely. Now, if you are the Lowndes Vikings tonight and you're the offensive coordinator, staring across that defensive
scared.
line of scrimmage, they've got some horses.
Yeah.
They've got some horses on that defensive front. Do you stick with your ground and pound game, or do you kind of open up the offense a little bit?
Well, I think in my, who am I?
That's right. Yeah. We're just speculators at this point.
Total speculation. But I think what you got to do is, number one, you start off and you stick with what got you there.
Absolutely.
But every once in a while, you throw a wrinkle. You got to do something. It's, I'm a big baseball guy, and the key to being a successful pitcher is to keep the guy guessing and keep him off stride and keep his timing away. Well, it's the same thing when you're an offensive coordinator looking at that defense. You've got to try and throw a fastball when they're looking curveball.
That's right.
And so, I look for them to. I think they'll start off running. I don't think we're going to come out and all of a sudden see them just open it up. I think they're going to stick to what got them here. But I think as the game goes, it just depends on how things go, and he'll adjust as it goes. But I think you have to start off running. If you can establish a run game, you got a good chance of winning the ball game.
Now, let me play devil's advocate here for a second. Last week, Lowndes really earned its street creds, if you will, because they knocked off the number 2 ranked team in the state, the Grayson Rams, and they did it early on by challenging that secondary for Grayson and going deep. Marvis Parrish connected with Kivas Thomas 3 different times in big plays down the field.
And boy, that joker's fast.
Yeah.
It's the old, what's the TV show or the movie, The Longest Yard? He makes fast people look slow. Okay. That joker can move, and they took advantage of that last week. I think they got some one-on-one matchups, and he hit that deep post across the middle, and Parrish put up, really good passes there. So if the opportunity arises, they're going to try and take care of it. I saw another play that's worked really well for Lowndes is the little bubble screen underneath. And so to Keelan Hicks is who was getting that. And so I could see some of that mixed in with the run, especially, 3rd and 8. And Valdosta's bringing it, man. I'm going to look for that little screen pass to Keelan.
Absolutely. I was talking to Dirk Harrell, who is with the Valdosta radio crew.
The one and only.
The one and only Dirk Harrell. And we were talking about some of the keys to the game, and he was telling me that he would be shocked if their defensive back, Tim Roberson, didn't follow Kivas Thomas all over this field.
Oh, I'm sure.
One-on-one. That is one of the key matchups of this game tonight, in my opinion.
No, I agree with you on that. Because anytime that you're putting 2 people on an island, at some point in time, who's going to win that matchup? And so I agree with that, and we'll see how much they challenge that one-on-one. That'll be interesting to see how that goes. But we'll see.
All right, guys, we are getting ready to start the pregame festivities. The Georgia Bridgemen are entering the field. The drum corps looks like they're in place on their traditional 20-yard line. So we're waiting for the Bridgemen to come out with their infamous sneak, quote-unquote, onto the field. And so as soon as the Bridgemen come out, we'll turn the camera and the attention down to the field so you can join the pregame festivities as well.
Well, we're about 15 minutes away from the kickoff, and we're historically a little bit late on the kickoffs here, with all the pregame stuff that Lowndes tends to do.
Yeah.
So we're about 15 minutes away from kickoff, and there's hardly any open spots anywhere.
Yeah.
This is fun. You know, we talked about when we came up here earlier today, we had sound check, and there was people tailgating this morning at 8:30 in the morning.
Absolutely. I was shocked to see a small RV parked out there on the grass.
And so, I got out here and tailgated started about 5 o'clock, saw all kind of people. Class of '89 was here. You know, they were here as a whole class. This is what it's all about, man. The Winnersville Classic 2022. This is daggum exciting.
Absolutely.
I just went Bobby Bowden and said daggum.
I think you're going to say that a few times tonight. So anyway, guys, we are going to go ahead and turn the attention to the game now with the pregame festivities. Y'all enjoy the game. Are we off?
Our community is very diverse when it comes to faith. We all have our own beliefs as to what faith means. What makes our community so special is that we can all come together when we need each other. We can lean on our friends, our neighbors, and our community. We can give faith to one another. Friday nights in the fall, they mean a lot to our community. It's a special time for all of us. It's a time when we all come together as one and celebrate our rich tradition of football. How blessed we are to have this place, to pack the stands shoulder to shoulder, cheer together for our Vikings, and enjoy each other's company. Enjoy this night. Enjoy the celebrations. And look up for just a few seconds, and you'll see that faith is all around.
Our student introduction will be led by Gracie D. Felice. Gracie is ranked 5th in the junior class, a member of the Technology Student Association, and the captain of the girls' varsity softball team. Let's pause now for a moment of silence.
Good evening, Lowndes of Valdosta fans, and welcome back to the Concrete Palace to experience our annual Winnersville Classic, the most anticipated game of the season. As we come together for this crosstown rivalry showdown, I hope that all players and fans will exhibit good sportsmanship so the game can be thoroughly enjoyed by all attending. Thank you to everyone for accommodating the safety procedures, and be sure to check out the north board The new board above the north end zone. Enjoy the game and drive home safely.
Moody Air Force Base is located 20 miles north of Martin Stadium and is a source of pride to all that live in the area. The major command at Moody is the Air Combat Command. The base occupies approximately 4.1 square miles. The population consists of roughly 4,500 military servicemen and women, approximately 480 civilians, and over 6,000 family members. To all our friends and family at Moody Air Force Base, we recognize your sacrifice and continued service to our country and community. Presenting the colors tonight is the Georgia 81st Air Force Junior ROTC, commanded by Cadet Sonoy Burke. Now, as we honor America, please rise, remove your hats for the playing of God Bless America, followed by our national anthem.
perfect as always.
Scott, the Georgia Bridgemen, they're known throughout the state. They're known throughout the nation.
Yep.
And we just, the live audience just saw a glimpse of why they're such a renowned band.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, Bowman does such a good job. John Bowman does so good and gets Seasides going. I'm going to tell you how big this night is.
Yeah.
We got people that have moved away, keep their season tickets to come back to this game.
Absolutely.
I looked down there and I just saw the stick man.
Tim Neesmith. I noticed the same
standing
thing.
up, moved to Atlanta, keeps his season tickets so he can come back and watch this game right here.
Absolutely. He was calling me a little bit earlier today about needing a couple of extra tickets, and it's like, dude, you calling me at 4:30 on a Friday. What are you doing?
I had one. I actually tried to give it away on Facebook, and nobody took it. So when I came in, I handed it to the lady at the tickets, taking up tickets. I was like, here's a ticket if somebody needs one. So
Absolutely.
maybe somebody will use it.
So as we said before, what the audience is seeing now is they're used to seeing the Bridgemen line up, but what's a little bit different is, you know, all head coaches have their spin on how the team enters the field, the pregame, that kind of stuff. Zach Grage, like we said, first-year head coach for Lowndes, and he's no different. He's put his spin on this, so we changed the banner that the team runs out of. I don't know if you guys can see that on the screen. We got a new video board up there that the cheerleaders are in place, the band's in place. They're getting ready to go to midfield to do the coin toss, and as soon as that's done, a couple minutes later, you're going to see the team bust out. But before they do that, Scott, they've got a special video hype music.
Yeah.
And it's really cool.
Yeah,
it is really, really cool.
So if you can see it on the screen, I don't know, but it looks like Valdosta has brought Chucky out to the middle of the field for the coin toss. It is, you know, that time of year, I guess.
It is that time of year, absolutely. So the cheerleaders from both teams have their team banners, getting ready to lead their team onto the field. And as we were talking about, Tim,
he's waving at us now.
Neesmith is
here. It comes, baby. The lights go out.
Here we go. Y'all are in for a treat. We're just going to shut up now and let y'all watch.
The band for Valdosta. Lowndes now comes down. They're headed down to the Lowndes High Concrete Crazies. And let me know, I know a lot of those kids, they are crazy.
Absolutely. And you notice now that the Georgia Bridgemen are making a mad dash to get off the field. You know, normally on Friday night, Scott, I have photography duties, and I'm usually right there in the middle of it, and I have to stand perfectly still like in an island to make sure I don't get run over.
Nothing worse than getting run over by a band. So we're going, hey, they're going to put our ugly faces back up there.
All right, all right.
So, yeah, one thing that just so we can get it out there, it was kind of hard to tell with the lights going in and out, but Valdosta won the coin toss and deferred to the second half, so Lowndes will receive the opening kickoff.
Lowndes will receive on the south end of the stadium towards the Georgia Bridgman end. Valdosta's going to kick from the north side. And, guys, we are only a couple of minutes away from kickoff here.
Referees have just broke the huddle. They're getting ready to get set up. The players for Lowndes just getting their sideline hyped up. Valdosta players are getting their sideline hyped up. We're about ready to play some football.
And let's go. And here we go, guys. We're going to shut up for a while and let you guys enjoy this kickoff.
This is the Winnersville Classic. Let's get ready to play some football.
Got the traditional band playing here, version of the Viking chop.
That's right.
Going.
Now, some people, Scott, call this the battle axe chop.
I like it. There was a joke there, but I'm not going to do it.
So Valdosta is lined up. They're wearing their white tops with their traditional yellow, some say gold pants. Lowndes is clad in all crimson from top to bottom. And here's the kickoff. It's a short kick, fielded at the 17-yard line. Lowndes returns the ball to the 29-yard line, so they're going to start this game 1st and 10 from about the 29-yard line on their end of the field.
Yeah, C.J. Brown took that one and didn't have a whole lot of room with the high kick, short. Good coverage on that one. He's able to get it all the way out, about 12-yard, about an 8-yard gain.
All right, so here come your Lowndes Vikings onto the field, led by number 4 sophomore quarterback Marvis Parrish. Flanked to his left is going to be Jakari Smoke Fleming in the number 1 jersey. Parrish takes the snap. Rolling out like he's going to pass. Throws the ball. It's complete.
Jalen Carter with the catch there. Nice run and throw, but we got a flag down on the penalty. Flag down on the play, sorry.
So irregardless of the penalty, it looks like Zach Grage and offensive coordinator Sean Sutton has dialed up a little bit of playmaking outside of what they normally do to start the game. Looks like they're going to try to open this game up a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of times when you have a play where the guy gets forced out of the pocket, we have what just happened, that we have an ineligible player downfield. And so what happens there is a lot of times that lineman thinks, oh, he's going to tuck it and run, and then he ends up throwing it. So,
man, that's great. That's great perception, and it's actually great insight on your part because you are a former official.
Yeah, 25 years.
There's Parrish with the snap. He throws it out to the screen, overthrows his intended target, and that's going to be incomplete.
Yeah,
bringing up 2nd and 15.
Intended for Keelan, just a little bit high.
Complete. 2nd down.
Early in this game, the Vikings start off the first 2 plays of the game with passing plays.
Be interesting that the play call here, 2nd and about 14.
It looks like an empty backfield.
Yeah, and you got to get about half of that on this play, I would think.
There's Parrish with the snap, and he takes off. He's sacked in the backfield on about the 18-yard line, and Lowndes is in a deep hole early in this game.
Well, Valdosta come hard on the edges there with a blitz with the outside linebackers, and it just closed up quick.
It's going to be about 3rd and 20 on the Lowndes 19-yard line.
So that'll be interesting once again. Let's see what happens. I mean, you almost have to throw the ball here. Do you do a short underpass and hopefully we can get a run after the catch? Very conservative. Very conservative
play. It looks like Grage was just setting up a decent punt here.
Yeah, Carson Page had come out here, and Carson is, if I'm not mistaken, Region Punter of the Year last year, so he can get the job done. Junior, big baseball player. committed to Georgia Tech right now as a baseball player.
Yeah. So it's going to be 4th and about 12 and a half. Carson's going to be kicking on his 3-yard line, and we're going to need one of his poster card kicks here to flip this field.
Looks like you got Eli Lewis, number 18, back there recovering it.
And the ball does turn over. He's going to field the ball. No, he's going to let it go. What a tremendous roll Carson Page is going to get. And, boy, did we just talk about flipping the field.
Yeah.
That ball's going to be downed at the 16-yard line.
Yeah, great punt there by Carson. Couldn't ask for anything. I would have had to call for a fair catch there just because I knew I was going to have good field position. But choosing to let it go sure helped out Lowndes.
That's right. So Lowndes kind of stutters on their first possession. Here come the Wildcat offense. Let's see what they got up their sleeve here.
Well, their quarterback, a sophomore as well, Todd Robinson, hearing nothing but good things out of this kid. Can do both things. He can throw and he can run. Absolutely.
Now, I'm told be on the lookout early for their 12th grade senior tight end, Jalen Whitehead.
Okay.
Here's Robinson in the shotgun.
Looks like changing the play.
And that's going to be a delay of game.
Yeah, a little bit too much time. I think what they're trying to see what Lowndes was going to do defensively and then base their play call off of that, and they just took too long to do it. Referee's right on top of that, along with all the fans.
You think some of that is just big time, big game jitters?
Sure. I mean, they're kids. They're 14, well, they're 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. They're going to be nervous in a game like this to begin with.
Absolutely. Both quarterbacks barely 15 years old, 16 years old. And here's Robinson in the shotgun, takes the snap, and he's going to pass, and that's going to be a fumble. It looks like Lowndes has recovered a fumble.
I tell you, big plays can do a lot in a game like this, and it doesn't get much bigger than a fumble inside the 10 recovered by the other team.
Absolutely. So Lowndes, man, a big break early in the game with 10 minutes left in the first quarter. Score is 0-0. Lowndes gets the ball on a major turnover deep in Cat territory on the 6-yard line.
If Lowndes could punch it in right here and put up 7 points, man, what a momentum game.
Absolutely. And just a couple of minutes earlier, Scott, we saw the momentum shift to Valdosta when they pinned Lowndes deep. We saw a booming kick by Carson Page. Series of events leads up to this fumble, and Lowndes starts this possession on the 6-yard line.
You know, turnovers can be a huge thing in a rivalry game, so let's see how this one plays out.
Parrish straight up the middle for no gain.
Not a lot of room there. We talked about that line of scrimmage and who's going to win it. Right now, it looks like the defense of Valdosta is beating the offensive line for Lowndes.
That's right. So Marvis Parrish actually loses a yard on the play. Here it is, 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line of Valdosta. Now they're in a pistol set.
Talk about turning something into nothing.
Scott, that had disaster written all over it. Lowndes comes back, fumbles the ball. Marvis Parrish is alert enough to pick it up and scampers for a couple of yards.
Wow. That is definitely turning something out of nothing.
This is a big play right here. If Valdosta can hold Lowndes to a field goal try after giving the ball up on the 6-yard line, I've got to think that's got to be a major win for Valdosta.
Just a little bit underthrown.
So Marvis on a rollout to, it looks like his wide receiver, slot receiver, had him open in the flats, slightly underthrew him, forced Hicks to turn around and just couldn't bring the ball in.
Yeah, just throwing a little bit low. The one thing I'm noticing is Lowndes is I think they're trying to attest for the penetration by Valdosta by getting Parrish outside the pocket and letting him create something outside of the pocket versus standing back there and getting hit.
Absolutely. So Lowndes is going to line up for a field goal attempt from the 5-yard line.
Aiden Andrews lined up to get it. Carson Page is your holder.
This is going to be a 22-yard attempt, and there's the kick. Looks like that it is good. And with 8:46 left in the first quarter, Lowndes strikes first with a field goal. They're up 3-0.
3-0. It's not 7 like Lowndes would want, but they still got 3. So it's a little bit of a win-win here for both teams. After the fumble, Valdosta holds them to only 3, but Lowndes does get the turnover and basically gets a free 3 points.
Absolutely.
So no real momentum gain in all of that. It's the way I look at it.
Now, Scott, that field goal kicker is a freshman, Aiden Andrews. This is his 3rd game that he's kicked in. And he has been so impressive. He's impressed his coaches and basically winning the job from 2 previous kickers who had left the team. Aiden was thrust in there in the line of fire as a freshman and really has done a fantastic job.
Well, just imagine what he's going to be as he gets older and gets stronger.
Absolutely.
Valdosta doesn't seem to think that he's going to kick it very deep.
Yeah, their deep man is at the 20-yard line.
So one of the things that Coach Grage does is he will look at the alignment that the receiving team does, and he tells the kicker where he wants him to kick it.
Right. And in response, Valdosta backs up their 2 deep men at the 10-yard line. There's the kick by Lowndes. It's going to be fielded. Oh, it bounces into the end zone for a touchback.
Probably a good decision there. It's hard to catch one of those balls that bounces like that.
Absolutely. So with 8:46 left in the first quarter, Lowndes is up 3-0 on an Aiden Andrews field goal. Valdosta is going to take the ball over at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
Well, let's see. Valdosta's had 2 plays from scrimmage so far. So let's see what kind of adjustments they make just after those 2 plays and that quick fumble. Penetration's basically we got it last time with the hit in the backfield. It was on a passing play. Looked like he was getting ready to throw the ball when he got hit, and that's what knocked it out.
Now Valdosta lines up in a pistol. Here comes Robinson behind the center, takes the snap, hands it off up the middle.
We got a flag, and it was a live ball, so that's going to be an illegal shift, it looks like, on Valdosta.
That's a shame, too. It's going to be a pretty good pickup of 5 yards, but it looks like there's a penalty on the field.
Yeah, it's going to be negated, and it's going to be 1st and 15.
So a little bit of nerves from both teams early in this game.
What that was there is you had the guy in motion, and then another guy moved before the other guy got set. And so you can't do that.
In official terms, you just can't do that.
Yeah, it's in the handbook like that.
Here's Valdosta, 1st and 15. Robinson taking the snap. Hands it off again, and this time that Viking front 7 stuffs him right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
It's going to bring up a 2nd and 15 from the 15-yard line.
That's one of those you can't even call a player because there was so many of them that hit him.
John Smith.
Now, this is interesting. Shelton Felton early in the game, that first possession, they try to do a pass, and it backfires. They give up a fumble, leads to 3 points. Now it looks like they're coming back in their traditional run-heavy game. But now in this particular play, they've got 3 receivers spread out wide. Let's see what they do. Robinson with the snap. He throws the ball to a wide-open Valdosta Wildcat, and it looks like he's going to pick up the 1st down.
Yeah, that was a good catch and throw. Jalen Whitehead, the tight end that Dirk Harrell told us about, just started out almost like in the slot position. He just slid out there into the flats for that open pass.
They almost used him like a Brock Bowers up at UGA.
Yeah, that's a good, yeah, I agree with that. Put him in all kind of different formations.
It's 1st and 10 for Valdosta at their own 30-yard line. Robinson about to take the snap. He does a read option, takes it himself up the middle. Gets about 3 yards on the play, maybe 4. It's going to bring up 2nd and 7. Guys, we're at 7:19 left in this first quarter. Lowndes is up 3-0 on an early field goal. Valdosta is starting to mount a drive. They got a 2nd and 7 on their 34-yard line.
A little confusion there. in the backfield.
Another run straight up the middle. There's that run-heavy approach that Shelton Felton loves, and so far in this drive, it's working to perfection. He gets another 3-4 yards on this. This is going to bring up a big third down early in this game.
Yeah, nothing fancy about that play. It was, here it is, I'm going to run it down your throat. Big third down play.
Here's that Lowndes crowd starting to stand to their feet, trying to cheer on their Vikings.
Got the cowbells and the milk cartons all are going.
3rd and 3, Valdosta. Robinson lined up in the shotgun. Takes a snap. Quick pass.
Wow.
What a catch. What a catch.
Wow.
That was a hot ball coming in, really thrown behind him. The receiver did a fantastic job adjusting. Basically catches it with one hand before going out of bounds.
Yeah, that's the Whitehead kid again. And he just reaches back and pops it up in the air, gains his composure, and pulls it out of the sky. Tremendous play for the first down there.
Yeah. So Valdosta picks up the first down. Guys, they are driving. Valdosta's got the ball on their 41-yard line, looks like. 1st and 10. Robinson in a pistol formation, about to take the snap. He rolls out. Throws it to that tight end again. Oh, he's got some running room. And he goes out of bounds at the Lowndes 31-yard line for a big, big play.
Hey, I'm gonna say that they might need to keep an eye on that kid.
Absolutely.
That's 3 big plays for him so far this game.
Nothing fancy so far. His first couple of catches were out to basically out routes with the tight end. That one, he just looked like a little drag route. Quarterback Robinson rolls out to the right, and he just picks him up wide open in stride.
Yeah, keep an eye on this kid. Looks like we're going to add a little something to it. I did not see the flag, but okay. No, it's not a penalty. They just had him marked out further down than what they originally marked.
Well, there is a penalty.
There is a penalty. I did not see a signal. There we go. We got a block in the back against us.
Wow.
I saw it. On the pursuit, guy come in and just hit one of the Valdosta guys in the back. That's a good call.
Well, that sets up the Cats with 1st and 10 from the Lowndes 21-yard line. This crowd is starting to get into it now because they sense something's about to happen. Robinson in the shotgun. Valdosta shifts 2 receivers, 2 tight ends to the left side.
Great job by the defensive line on that. It's hard for me to tell who that is. Defensive lineman, I think it was number 99, just stood up his blocker. 99, Andres Contreras, just shed his blocker and got in there and made the tackle.
After all the fancy shifts and formations, it was basically a simple dive off that left tackle, and the Lowndes right side just snuffed it out. So another big play, 2nd and 8 from the Lowndes 19-yard line. Robinson in a shotgun for Valdosta. Here's a snap. Looks like he's going to throw it. Lowndes is in pursuit. He throws it away.
So this year, most people don't realize this, but up until this year, to roll out like that and get rid of the football like they do in college and the pro, that was a penalty. This year, that rule changed, and so you can dump it in high school now. Just throw it away, throw it out of bounds so that you don't take a loss on the side.
That's what I was thinking.
On the outside, they snap it out there to the guy, and he's got a choice of either running behind his blockers or dumping it with a little jump pass, and it just didn't work out. Lowndes sniffed it out and did a good play.
What a tremendous play by that defensive back, C.J. Brown, because as you said, they had the swinging gate lined up. All those players are jumbled together. He takes a snap, and most of the time, Scott, you know, it's basically that halfback just races towards the corner pylon there, but it looked like almost a disguise. He kind of camouflaged himself behind this big mass of bodies and just jumps the ball over to it, and C.J. Brown saw it all the way and intercepted the ball.
Yeah. Hey, I just noticed something. If you don't think this is a big game, you know who's at this game?
Who's that?
Randy McPherson standing down there on the sideline. When's the last time you've seen him in a ball game?
Absolutely. You guys know Randy McPherson. Randy McPherson's been around these parts for a long, long time. Coach was the head coach at Lowndes High for 18 years before retiring a couple years ago. And he's back also with retired Lowndes Superintendent Wes Taylor.
That's right. And then Wes Taylor's been at most games. I see him most games, but I hadn't seen Randy Mack at a game in 3 years.
That's right. Guys, with 5:05 left in the first quarter, Valdosta takes the early lead 6-3. Smoke Fleming takes the ball. He reverses field.
I kept thinking, son, the idea is go north and south. North and south. He kept going east and west, but it created something and got a good return on that one all the way down to 35, it looks like.
It looked like he ran 15 miles to gain 15 yards,
Yep.
but it was a heck of an athletic play.
Yeah, he's so shifty.
So how does Lowndes reply to that really fantastic drive? You've got to be honest about it.
Yeah.
Valdosta drives the length of the field, take the early lead 6-3 with 4:52 left in this first quarter.
Well,
Here comes Lowndes.
That's what they got to do. They have to put together a drive here. They have to answer.
Looks like a false start on an offensive lineman there. And that's exactly what it is.
Your right tackle started a little bit early. We won't call names on penalties like that.
That's right. So Lowndes is going to have the ball at their 30-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 15 after that 5-yard false start penalty. Here comes Lowndes. Marvis Parrish lined up in a shotgun. Looks like Eileen Brown is flanked to his right. What an athletic play by Marvis Parrish. It looked like a Valdosta defensive lineman was going to blow up that play, and Marvis Parrish is athletic enough to elude him and pick up about 5 yards, maybe 6 yards on the play.
Well, Eric Brantley, number 9 for Valdosta, just blew through the line and about blew that play up deep in the backfield, but Lowndes ends up gaining about 1.
All right, so it's 2nd and 9 from the Lowndes 36-yard line. And that looks like an offsides by that Valdosta nose tackle.
Yeah,
that's that big Omar White.
Hey, let's keep an eye. One of the things that I'm seeing is number 10 on the defensive line for Valdosta, Mr. Omar White, 11th grader. He's really, really dominating his side of the line right now.
Absolutely. Now, correction on that. The Valdosta nose tackle on that previous play was number 8, T.J. Morrison.
All right, so according to your headlinesman, that was the defense before the offense.
Yeah, we had both players, one player from each side, take a step, but it looks like the Valdosta player was a tad early on that one.
Well, that's going to give Lowndes a first down. Not necessarily how you want to get one, but it's always good to get one.
You'll take it.
Both teams trying to figure out what we're going to do this play. Looking like a blitz coming from the right side.
Scott, was that a busted screen? It looked like it was being set up for the screen as many Valdosta defensive linemen as poured through the line there.
Well, it looked like it was going to be a little swing pass out here to the right, but it got busted up and was the blitz kind of, it was like the perfect play call for defense. And Parrish just saw it and said, let me get something, and he ended up gaining about 5.
2nd and 5, Lowndes got the ball at midfield. And that's going to be a false start on Lowndes.
3:02 left to go here in the first quarter. 6-3, Valdosta has the lead. They've scored the only touchdown of the game, and it went for 2, and it was stopped by Lowndes. Gonna make it 2nd down and about 10 after the penalty.
So Lowndes has the ball on their 46-yard line, 2nd and 10. Marvis, empty backfield. Looks like to set up a screenplay.
You know, coming in, that's one of the things I thought we might see a lot of is some screenplays coming out of Lowndes.
And that was thrown to number 19, Kyrie Fuller.
Well defended, though.
Yeah, picks up about 3 yards. Looked like when he initially threw it, he's going to pick up a lot more than that, but that's a very fast Valdosta defense. So big third down and 7. Vikings with the ball, 49-yard line. And that's a quarterback draw up the middle that gains about a couple of yards. That's going to bring about 4th down and about 5 to go.
Well, we talked before the game started about the battle in the trenches, and Valdosta's winning it right now.
Absolutely.
One thing you got to be alert of here with Lowndes. Lowndes will sometimes come out with that little rugby kick where Carson Page kind of takes off running to the right, and if it opens up, he'll keep it.
Absolutely.
Valdosta knows that, I'm sure.
Now, to make your point, Valdosta shutting down the Lowndes offense early on.
Another great punt.
Carson Page with another great punt. Oh, man, I thought I was going to check up there at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, he's still, that's 2 really good punts for him so far. I watched him in warm-ups about a month ago, and he was setting up about that spot right there, and he checked up like 5 in a row. They landed at the 1 or 2-yard line and bounced straight up in there, and it was like he was doing it on purpose. And I asked him later, I said, was you doing it on purpose? He said, well, of course.
With 1:53 left in the first quarter, Valdosta leads this game 6-3. They take over at their own 20-yard line after a Lowndes punt. On the previous possession that Valdosta had the ball, they drove the length of the field for a touchdown. Let's see if they got it in them again.
Well, you know, Lowndes needs to come up with a stop, something here to change the momentum of the game for sure. That ain't it.
It's a foot race, and the Valdosta Wildcat is going to win this foot race.
Ahmad Denson just took that right off tackle and took it the whole way. 80-yard touchdown run.
80 yards. And
untouched.
To say Valdosta has the momentum here is an understatement. With 1:41 left in the game, they lead this thing 12-3.
That boulder rolling down here was rolling hard and big right now.
Absolutely.
Looks like they're going to go for the standard extra point kick in here. Lowndes side is really quiet now.
Yeah. There's the extra point. It is good. And with that, 1:41 left in the first quarter, rather. It's Valdosta 13, Lowndes 3. Scott, that play right there kind of exemplifies what both of these offenses have been able to do in this first quarter. Valdosta is dominating the stat game right now. Through the first 3 possessions, Lowndes has total offense of 9 yards compared to Valdosta's 154 yards.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a difference. I'm not a mathematician, but that's a pretty big spread.
That's a pretty big spread, and they're doing it predominantly on the ground. Valdosta has 7 rushing attempts for 108 yards.
And you got to figure, you know, we had the fumble that Lowndes created. That counts as negative yards in rushing. So it's actually probably a little more than 108.
That's right. So with Valdosta leading this thing almost at the end of the first quarter, 13-3, Scott, with this possession, is it a must score for Lowndes?
Well, there's still a lot of football left, and I don't want to say it's a must score, but I think it's a situation where they've got to create something and at least put a drive together. Keep the football for a little bit. Lowndes is getting dominated on the line of scrimmage, both offense and defense, and so the lines have got to step up and create something for Lowndes on offense here so that they can give their defensive line a little bit of a breather.
That's right. So Lowndes is facing some early adversity in this game. How does this young bunch respond? There's Kevis Thomas, fields the kick, about the 17-yard line. Oh, He was close. He was a shoestring away from breaking that thing all the way back. So Lowndes is going to start with pretty good field position about their 38-yard line, 1st and 10 on their side of the 50.
Well, one thing you can't do if you're Lowndes is you can't panic at this point. You can't panic. If you're Valdosta, you got to take this momentum and try your best to build on it. Create something here to a play. You can almost, you know, take a little bit of a gamble almost to create something in this situation.
Well, Valdosta has certainly taken the Lowndes crowd out of it. It is very, very quiet on the home side of the stadium right now.
Not many people standing right now.
There's Marvis, takes the ball. He throws it to Kevis Thomas. Oh, Scott. It looked like that line judge right there reached for his flag, but kept it in his pocket.
One of your deep guys, it looked like he kind of reached for it. It was 50-50 call. You could have went either way. And, you know, I don't think anybody gained an advantage. And I think, you know, when I was officiating, that's one of the things you look at is you try to see, did somebody gain an advantage by doing something illegal? And then it wasn't really an advantage.
Well, regardless, it's 2nd down on the incompletion, 2nd and 10. Lowndes shifts 2 receivers to the left. Hands the ball off to Smoke Fleming, and he breaks free. Man, he just trucked a Valdosta defensive back.
As I said on radio a few years, hot sauce and biscuits, what a hit, baby.
What a
Smoke
hit
just
by
ran him
Smoke
over.
Fleming. And that's a big play. Is it enough to shift the momentum? It certainly got the Lowndes crowd on their feet now.
Yeah.
That gives Lowndes a 1st down on Valdosta's side of the 50, about the 44-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10.
Smoke with a tremendous run there.
Marvis in the shotgun. Smoke flanked to his left. Give to Smoke again. He busts loose again. Oh, it's a foot race now. Smoke breaks another one all the way down to about the 7-8 line of Valdosta.
Well, there's a reason that college after college after college is looking at that skid.
Absolutely. Well, we asked a while ago how Lowndes was going to respond being down early. So far, so good. Lowndes has the ball, 1st and goal on about the 8-yard line of Valdosta.
Well, the Lowndes didn't panic. They were 2 runs. You know, 2 runs have got us here. So it wasn't like we're thinking, okay, oh my goodness, we got to throw, we got to throw, we got to throw, as Lowndes calls a timeout here, and what could be really a crucial situation in the ballgame.
That's right. Absolutely. It almost feels like Lowndes needs to score here. That's the feeling that I'm getting in the stadium. There's 42, but it's still early in the game. There's 47 seconds left in the 1st quarter. Valdosta up 13-3. Just a little recap. Lowndes starts the scoring tonight after recovering a Valdosta fumble all the way down to the 6-yard line. Could not punch it in for a touchdown. Instead, Aiden Andrews, freshman kicker, comes in, boots a 22-yard field goal. But after that, Scott, it has been all Valdosta.
Yeah, all Valdosta until the last 2 plays.
Absolutely.
To the last 2 plays when Smoke Fleming pops off 2 big runs, one of them where he runs over a defensive back, and then the long, that's about a 40-yard run there to get them down inside the 10. So I think this timeout here is, okay, let's make sure we get the right play. Let's punch this thing in the end zone. Let's get our head straight and make something happen here and come away with 6.
Absolutely.
Now, Valdosta's got to come in at this point in time. They've got to stop it. They have momentum. They want to keep it. They need to stop. It's a win for them if they can hold on to 3.
And Valdosta comes up on almost a 5-man front. There's Parrish. He steps back. Oh, he's gonna get taken down in the backfield.
Yeah, that one got busted up by the defensive line immediately.
So he's gonna lose about 4, maybe 4.5 yards on the play.
Looked like Jalen Bentley back in there and Tyran Small. No, I'm sorry, Eric Brantley. That was Eric Brantley back in there, number 9, the defensive lineman.
It's going to be 2nd and goal from the Valdosta 13-yard line. Looks like they're going to run this clock out to end the 1st quarter.
Yeah, we're going to switch ends, and see if we can punch it in on the other end. This end hadn't worked out too good.
That's right.
For Lowndes.
That's going to do it for the first quarter. And after 12 minutes of play in the 2022 Winnersville Classic, Valdosta has the early lead on the Lowndes Vikings 13-3. Scott, in the pregame, you and I were talking about how strong the Valdosta run game, and we certainly saw that in the first quarter.
Absolutely. Both teams have kind of lived by the run, but Valdosta just really, they had a long drive down the field, where they were popping off 4 and 5 and 6 yards at a time. Took it down the field, punch it in. They stopped the extra point when they went for 2, Lowndes did. And then they turned right around and busted the really long 80-yard touchdown run, all by rush. They did complete a few passes on that first drive to the big number 1 Whitehead, the tight end for Valdosta, had 3 nice catches, but the rest of it was a running game.
Absolutely. So let me go over the stats real fast for the first quarter. Valdosta leads in total offense, 154 to Lowndes' 64. Valdosta's run 11 plays. Lowndes has run 13 plays. Passing yards, 46 for Valdosta and 3 yards net passing for Lowndes. Rushing 108 yards for Valdosta and up to 61 for Lowndes.
Well, the rush and all that, the rushing and all the offense for Lowndes was right there in the last 40-something seconds. 2 long runs. If it hadn't been for that, they've had no offense in the first quarter.
So this is a big series right here. It's 2nd and goal from the Valdosta 13-yard line. Lowndes is crowding the front. There's a snap. There's the rush on Parrish. He's rushing around. He throws the ball to a wide open Kyrie Fuller. And there's a flag on the field.
Yeah, you're going to have ineligible downfield again. It's so hard when those guys, when the quarterback goes rolling out, that offensive line's wanting to get and block for him. The one thing I did see that we could have had was a little bit of holding on some of the receivers on that play. I saw looked like one of them was tackled in the backfield, in the defensive backfield. I think that's what Coach Grage is getting on to him about right now. But touchdown call back for penalties.
That's a big penalty right there.
Yeah.
Big penalty right there. That's the second time that's happened on a Marvis Parrish rollout with an ineligible man downfield that has negated 2 good pass plays.
Well, it's once again, and I think that's where the discipline comes from on your offensive line. They've got to realize that he's trying to create something with either his feet or his hands, and they've got to let him do that and not just assume he's going to run the football.
Here it is, 2nd and goal. Just ties to.
He dumped that pass. That was actually a very smart pass because the receiver was completely covered. He had nowhere to go on that one. It was well defended.
Which brings up now a big, big 3rd down. It's 3rd and goal. This ball started at the 8-yard line. It's backed all the way back to the 18. It's 3rd and goal from the Valdosta 18.
If you're going to pull one out right here.
There's a 50-50 ball to Kevis Thomas, and it looked like they weren't on the same page there.
Yeah, it looked like Parrish was looking for him to go out. Number 7 was going in. So coaches immediately come. Coach Pike, the wide receiver coach, immediately comes to him and is like, okay, talk to me here, kid. What was going on?
And that was really an unusual miscommunication between those two because Kevis Thomas has been a go-to receiver for Marvis Parrish this year.
Yeah. And even though all of that happened, it was still completely, it was covered. Valdosta did a really good job.
And here's a 35-yard field goal try, and it is good. Aiden Andrews, freshman kicker, drills a 35-yard field goal, which cuts the Valdosta lead to 13-6 with 11:33 left in the second quarter.
Kid's earning his pay there.
Absolutely, man.
Freshmen aren't supposed to come in big games and be that clutch. That's a 35-yarder for a freshman. And was it in the Grayson game he hit one from 42, I think.
Right. So, Scott, really the tale of this game so far has been Lowndes has gotten down there deep a couple of times, and due to penalties, busted plays, have been forced to settle for 2 Aiden Andrews field goals. On the flip side, Valdosta has had 2 impressive drives, and now they lead by a touchdown, 13-7.
Yeah.
13-6.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, we talked about it, and I'll keep saying this all night long because it keeps happening, is that line of scrimmage is being won right now by Valdosta on both sides. That's something that Lowndes has really got to come back and work on this second quarter and the rest of the game.
Gibson and Gatlin are safeties for the Wildcats.
I tell you this, I don't know if they were willing to try it, but boy, look at where this this big, huge opening for an onside kick could be.
And he boots it. They're going to receive around the 10-yard line. Here's the return. It's going to be a pretty big return. Valdosta gets the ball all the way out to about the 35-yard line. Valdosta is going to start their drive in pretty good field position. 1st and 10 from about the 34, it looks like. Maybe 33.
Yeah, looking about the 33 here, first and 10 for them. So can the defensive line of Lowndes step up here and do something to negate the run game for Valdosta? Do you try to do a little bit of run blitz here with your linebackers or something?
The Lowndes crowd on the home side trying to get into it, fire up their guys. Robinson takes the snap. He does a quick pass, and that's complete. Going to pick up about 8 yards.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been good for any team.
So that's going to set Valdosta up with a very, very short second down here. 2nd and about 2 from their 41-yard line.
Valdosta just seems to be dialing up all the right plays right now.
Here it is, 2nd and 2. Robinson takes the snap, hands the ball off. And just great pursuit by the left side of that that Lowndes defense. A little bit of extracurricular activity that the crowd is pointing out. No harm, no foul, say the officials.
It's 3rd down.
All right, big play here, 3rd and 2. Lowndes comes in. They're set up hard. They come in hard from the outside, but it goes right up the middle, but I think he got enough to get it.
Looks like the official signals timeout, indicating a 1st down. With about 10 minutes left in this first half, Valdosta leads this game 13-6. They just converted a big 3rd down play. They've got the ball 1st and 10 from about their 44-yard line. Robinson in the shotgun in a pistol formation. Roll out to the right. He's got a tight end out there, Grayson Levy, and man, they pick up 8, 9, 10 yards on that play. Looks like they're going to be another Wildcat 1st down.
Another big gain. Kind of a play action fake. Get him downfield, opens up Grayson Levy for that catch. .934 left here in the first half, 13-6. Valdosta leads the game. 1st and 10, ball set on the 45-yard line of Lowndes.
He just throws that one away. Was he outside of the pocket?
Yeah, he was outside the pocket. Nothing there. He got to pass the line of scrimmage.
And this is
tremendous job. That was what I would call a coverage sack, if you will, because he had time. He just didn't have nobody to throw it to. The defensive backs from Lowndes did a good job on that. And let's be honest, Todd Robinson did a good job of getting rid of that. Second and 10. Ball ran up the middle. Well, kind of off guard there. Gain of about 2 on it.
Scott, it's feeling like it's starting to get kind of late in this first half. Nine minutes left in the first half. Valdosta leading 13-6. Third down. This time it's a long third down and 9.
Big play here for Lowndes.
This is going to be a big play.
Big play here for Lowndes.
Oh, he's going to get the first down.
It's a good pass, good catch. Eric Brantley, I'm sorry, that would have been Tyran Small with the catch. They got 2 number 9s. It's hard for me to tell which one's which. I got to look and see what position they played to know who made that play.
That's right.
Tyran Small with a good catch going down and catching it right off the top of the grass or the turf.
So Valdosta converts on a long 3rd and 9. They've got the ball first down at the Viking 35-yard line. There's the snap. There's the run up the middle. Oh. He makes a couple of guys move. He's still on his feet. They're going to knock him down finally at the Lowndes 29-yard. No, the Lowndes 24-yard line. Check that.
Ahmad Denson comes in there and just makes about 3 people miss. Tremendous run, spin move in the middle. Great run.
Nothing fancy there. Just a dive play up the middle, and he just made 3 Viking defenders just miss. Quick screen out to the wide receiver to the right side, and Lowndes eats it up. Going to pick up about 2 yards. Going to bring up 2nd down and about 8 yards to go from the Lowndes 22-yard line.
Jacob Blair did a really good job of stepping up and stopping that once it got past the initial defender.
Scott, Lowndes snuffs that, shuts down the run, but there's a penalty on the Lowndes sideline. They're going to catch a Lowndes defender not hustling off the field, so they're going to catch him with 12 guys on the field.
That's a shame, too, after Jaden Battle comes in with a tremendous play to stop that, just cuts through the line and makes a play in the backfield.
So that's going to give Valdosta a cheap 5 yards after a fantastic line play by that entire Viking front 4 there.
You know, smart on Valdosta to get that play off before he got out of bounds, too.
Absolutely. It's going to bring up a short 2nd down and about 2.5. 7:06, Valdosta leads this thing 13-6, and they're driving deep in Lowndes territory. There's a pass to the corner. The receiver's open, and he drops the ball.
Oh.
Wide open in the corner of the end zone, had his man beat. The ball hits him in the chest and goes right through his hands.
And that's their Whitehead. That's their guy. I mean, that's not going to happen often.
Yeah. Now, if this thing turns out in Lowndes' favor, Valdosta is going to look back on that particular play.
Yeah, if they don't convert here, that's a big drop.
Here's another 3rd down. It seems like we keep saying that on this drive. Valdosta has driven the length of the field. They've got the ball 3rd and about 2.5, short 3, deep in Lowndes territory.
You got to run the football, in my opinion.
And he's lining up under center. And there's a toss sweep, which has fumbled the ball. Lowndes looks like they've got a shot at jumping on the ball.
He comes out with it.
And there's another big Valdosta fumble. Lowndes recovers. What a big turn of events. Valdosta first drops a wide open touchdown pass by their superstar tight end, Whitehead, in the corner of the end zone. And the very next play, They fumbled the ball, and Lowndes pounces on it in the backfield.
And Bull Wright Jr. comes up with the big recovery.
There you go. I hadn't heard that name in a while. Bull Wright.
So Vernon Wright, Bull Wright from years past with Lowndes, his son, comes up with a big recovery right there. So now we've got the Lowndes got the turnover. They have an opportunity. They've got to make something happen here. If Lowndes can take this with 6:46 and drive down and tie this game up, who knows what could happen from there.
That's right.
We're going to have a false start on Lowndes. Another
Scott, we're going
penalty.
to try to check in with our sideline reporter Chase Garnto. Let's see if we can get in touch with Chase down there.
First and 15 now. These unforced penalties so far have really hurt Lowndes. Wow.
Smoke doing what Smoke does.
I mean, because it was messed up in the backfield where they actually collided a little bit, and then he just created about 5 yards.
So he gets back the penalty yardage, looks like. It's going to be second down and about 10 yards to go.
You know, I think they might call him Smoke because have you ever grabbed Smoke? You can't grab Smoke. It just goes right through your hands.
Second and 10, Marvis Parrish takes the snap. Looking to pass. Throws it to, is that Keelan Hicks?
No.
That's got to be a flag. Threw him out of bounds after they clearly stepped out.
Jalen Carter there with the catch.
Jalen Carter with the catch. Takes the ball to about the 28-yard line, 26-yard line. It's going to bring up a third and about 7. A little bit of extracurricular activity on the sideline, but according to the official, no harm, no foul.
Well, the defensive line really was almost in a, hey, we're just going to contain you on that. It's like they weren't really pushing to try and get back there. That was interesting. Good defensive call to, hold them to a short gain. Now it's third and long for Lowndes.
And there's a quick screen pass out to the left. Valdosta blows it up.
Well covered.
Ends up in a no gain for the Vikings. And that's going to bring up fourth down.
Omar White with the penetration. I think that was supposed to be a screenplay. It was just covered really well. Omar, the only one that really gets through. But once again, Lowndes is forced to punt.
So 4:50 left in this first half. Valdosta leads this game 13-6 on what looked like a promising shift in momentum for Lowndes after recovering a Wildcat fumble deep in their own territory, but couldn't come up with anything and basically forced a punt after 3 and out. And here's another really, really good kick by Carson Page. Forces the Valdosta receiver into a fair catch. He catches the ball. They're going to get it about the 35-yard line.
Eli Lewis there on the receiving end of that, and really good decision to fair catch that one. Don't allow that bounce to happen like it did last time.
And Scott, let's go down to our sideline reporter, Chase Garnto. Chase, what you got?
Hey, Larry. Hey, man, this defense is doing everything they can do. That Cats offense is moving the ball pretty well, but our defense is keeping us in this game really, really well. Look for the ball to go on the offensive side for the Vikings. Look for our offense to go a little more to Jalen Carter. It looks like they're starting to find something a little more.
Thanks for that report, Chase.
Yeah, man.
Valdosta starts this drive, 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Dive off the right tackle. Looks like they pick up about 2, maybe 3 yards. Going to bring up 2nd down and 7 or a short 8.
Malik Bryan in on that tackle. I haven't seen this in a while. I'm looking at the roster for Lowndes, and Makai Crawford, number 8, is listed as a rover. Harkens back to the old Georgia days. Valdosta gets down, gains about 4 or 5 on the play. It's going to give them 3rd and short, about 3rd and 3. It's 3:33 left to go here in this first half. It's 13-6 Valdosta. Valdosta looking to put in a little 4-minute offense here to try and get some more points on the board. Lowndes has got to come up with a stop. 3rd down, here's the big play. It's going to be enough for the first down.
Wildcat first down.
So they get the first down to allow it to drive. Oh, big play in the backfield. Number 53 for Lowndes. That's Jaden Battle coming in with some big penetration. Just blew up the offensive line there. Lowndes needed something like that. They needed some negative yardage. Valdosta continued just to drive down the field. It's going to be 2nd down and about 15, long 14. 2:34 left to go in the half. It's 13-6 Valdosta. Big play here. Do they look to try and get it all back, or are they going to look to get about half of it? Little quarterback keeper. They scored a touchdown on that earlier in the ball game, and he gains a nice about 8 yards on that play to get him to the 50-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and about 6. Todd Robinson, the quarterback for Valdosta, they've had that play. Their first touchdown come on a quarterback keeper just like that, right up the gut. They tried to do the same thing again. Lowndes stopped it a little better this time with only a gain of 8.
It's 3rd and about 7. Lowndes really needs a big stop. We're approaching a minute 50 left in this first half. They're down 13-6. They need a big stop here.
Look for Valdosta to try and convert.
Oh! That ball had a little bit of pinball action there.
Yeah.
Almost looked like Lowndes was going to come up with that interception.
Well,
that's going to bring up 4th down.
That actually helped Lowndes out a little bit. They didn't have to waste a timeout on a completed pass short of a first down, because if they don't get the first down there, Lowndes got to call a timeout, stop clock, hopefully have a shot.
That's a good point, Scott.
Now, with the incomplete pass clock stops, Lowndes will get a chance to put together a return and hopefully a quick drive to get downfield and maybe put some points on the board before the end of the half.
Now, Carson Page, great punter for Lowndes. Grayson Levy, his counterpart for the Valdosta Wildcats, also is a very good punter. Let's see if he kicks to Kivas Thomas here.
It's actually a really good kick, good and high. Took a bounce. Lowndes picks it up.
Oh, shoestring tackle there.
Nice coverage. Nice coverage by Valdosta. That's a good kick. That's a good conservative kick. Gets time for the defenders to get down there and look to make a tackle and round up somebody, and that's exactly what they did.
A minute and 28 left in the first half. Valdosta up 13-6. Lowndes takes over. They get the ball about their 18-yard line. Let's take a look at. I almost said a 2-minute drive, but we got less than 2 minutes. Got about a minute and 28 seconds.
So I mean, it's not impossible to get something together here. Lowndes going to have to come up with, obviously, something that's going to get big chunks of yards. We can't do this on 3-4 yards at a time, so we got to get some big chunks. So look for them to really open it up.
What a run by Smoke Fleming. He starts straight up the middle. He dances a little bit, and then he turns on the jets, outruns the Valdosta defender to the sideline, picks up about 10 yards for a Lowndes first down, and more importantly, Scott, he goes out of bounds.
Yeah, saves the timeout, gains a good chunk of yards, about 12 there. But we still got a long way to go in a minute 19 seconds.
Minute 19 seconds. Lowndes with the ball on their 27-yard line. Marvis Parrish, shotgun, takes the snap.
Boy, there he is again. Omar White. Kid is dominating the right side of the defensive line. Tremendous play. He recognized the screen, pulled up, and knocked it down. Tremendous play there.
That's that defensive front that we talked about in the pregame, led by Eric Brantley and Omar White. And just about every play, Scott, they're getting, one of those players is getting tremendous amount of penetration.
Yeah. They come off the corners real hard on that I would call it a 3-3. Well, it's a 4-3 front. You know, the two defensive ends are just really dominating right now.
What a strong run by Aleem Brown for the Lowndes Vikings. He's another sophomore running back. A lot of running back talent at Lowndes.
Got out of bounds again. Stops the clock at 1:05. Left here in the first half. You know, the one thing is really some conservative calls here. Haven't really tried to throw the little bubble screen out to the right that was knocked down by Omar White. Nothing there. Smoke can't create that much. How are we going to get a 3:15 there, though?
When it looked like Lowndes was going to have to punt on a long fourth down, they pick up a personal foul penalty on a little bit of extracurricular activity. It's going to bail Lowndes out. We're going to start off with another first down here. That's going to bring it all the way up to almost midfield.
Yeah, you know, I understand the penalty. I mean, it was a good call. I mean, they blow the whistle, they keep pushing, and then they give that little bit of extra right there at the end that shoves him to the ground. You can't do that. That's a mental mistake by Valdosta that really comes through and helps Valdosta. I mean, comes through and helps out Lowndes. Coach Felton didn't like the call. He's having a little things to say about it. You got to work some. I understand that.
With 53.5 seconds left in this first half, Lowndes trying to mount a run, aided by a 15-yard personal foul, late hit penalty. Moves the ball out to midfield. Lowndes gets it 1st and 10. Marvis Parrish in a shotgun. Looks like there's a little bit of discussion between the White Hat and the Lowndes head coach.
I think we're talking about the 25-second clock here, because after the penalty, it's you know, the way the 25-second or the 40-second the play clock works is if it's a live ball, it goes to 40 seconds. If it's a dead ball, it's going to go to 25. So they got it set at 40 right now, so they're trying to get it reset to 25. I'm wondering if the play clock's messed up.
With 55 seconds left in this first half, Valdosta up 13-6. All the bands are gathered on the sidelines, ready to start the halftime show, but we still got 55 seconds of football left in this first half. Here's Parrish with the snap. Takes his read.
Yeah, that's coming back
to the right.
Big hold out there. Big hold on the left side. So that's going to come back, and it's going to cost us a bunch.
Another rollout to the right by Marvis Parrish, completed pass that's negated by a Lowndes penalty.
Well, it wasn't a lineman downfield this time, but it was a huge hold on the backside. Parrish was basically flushed out of the pocket by that defender, and if the holding doesn't happen, he probably tackles him behind the line of scrimmage. So good call by the officials there. This crew has worked, or I know this White Hat, he works about every Valdosta Lowndes game. They come out of Augusta, so they have they could care less who wins this ball game.
Little conservative play, run up the middle with Smoke Fleming. Takes the ball to about 40-yard line, picks up 3 yards.
Lowndes calls a timeout.
39 seconds left. Valdosta leads 13-6.
So when you call this timeout, do you look over at your offensive coordinator and say, hey, dial me up something here? Do we need to come up with something for a big chunk of yards where at least maybe we can get, with 39 seconds left, maybe we can get at least a field goal before the end of the half? I do know this: if Lowndes keeps kicking field goals, they're not going to win this football game.
Nope. They eventually have to score a touchdown, and they've had a couple of really good shots.
Yeah. So
the difference in this game, one Valdosta scoring drive was a long length of the field drive. The other scoring drive they had was basically a one-play 80-yard dash by their running back, straight up the middle, broke to the outside sideline, and it was a foot race, and he won that race. Now, on the other side of the coin, Lowndes gets their 2 scores. by driving deep into Valdosta territory, first and goal on both drives, and was unable to convert, having to settle for 2 Aiden Andrews field goals.
If I'm not mistaken, both scores for Lowndes come off turnovers too.
Absolutely.
So without the turnovers that Lowndes created with the 2 fumbles, they don't score. Second down in eternity, it looks like about 20.
There's another handoff to Smoke. Very conservative play. He gets thrown down. It's going to be third down. Loses about 6 yards on the play.
Yeah, I think that's going to be our last play of the half.
And Lowndes is just looks like they're content on running out of clock. Valdosta calls a timeout.
Yeah, they want to make them do something. Maybe they'll make a mistake.
Here at Griffin CDJR, what separates us from the rest is customer service, even though we went through a transition period.
Okay, so if you're Valdosta's still got 2 timeouts left. I think at this point in time, it's third down. It's a good call of a timeout by Valdosta. Lowndes is going to have to gain a little bit and try and get a punt off. Valdosta was going to call it a timeout as soon as this play is over with. And hopefully they can set up maybe a big return or something like that. It wouldn't shock me to see them really come after the punter on this situation. Which now, if you look at it, if you're the Lowndes coaching staff, you know they're going to be coming after it. Do you set up a little play, a little fake punt late in the half to maybe change some momentum late in the game, late in the first half? Interesting. The chess match between the 2 coaches right now is really interesting.
Absolutely.
Go Vikings.
Referees blow the whistle, tell them, come on, let's play football, boys. Third and 26 now. Straight handoff. Could have had a block in the back. Good job by your receiver not to take that. Stays in bounds. Valdosta calls you timeout. 15.5 seconds left to go in the half. 13-6 the score. This is going to put Lowndes in punting situation. Valdosta's either going to set up trying to get a return here, or they're going to try to block this thing. One of the two. If I'm Valdosta, man, I'm going after it. I'm bringing the house. If I could get 17 players out there and come after it, I'm going to do it if I can get away with it. But obviously they can't do that. So they're going to have every one of their guys. I look for them to come out and really go after this one. Try and get a block from Valdosta on Carson Page's punt. .5 seconds left to go in the half. 13-6 is your score. Here comes your players. Carson Page comes out getting ready to punt. Number 18, Eli Lewis again. He's back for the punt coverage, looking to receive the punt. Wildcats got all 10 of their other guys up on the line. They're coming after it. Page gets it off.
He kicks it off the side of his foot, gets a pretty decent roll, rolls down out of bounds on the Valdosta 23-yard line.
Well, that worked out just how Lowndes wanted it on that play there. Get rid of it. 5.9 seconds left to go till half. Valdosta probably comes out at this point in time after not blocking that, takes a knee and goes in with a lead at 13-6 at halftime. Don't look for too much fireworks on this play. Short huddle over on the sideline. I'm guessing Coach Felton just said, hey, go out there and take a knee and let's go into halftime with a lead.
You think he takes at least one shot down the field?
No. Lowndes is going to back up a little bit, play some, for lack of better words, prevent defense, but I would be surprised if he tries it.
Robinson, number 2, in the snap.
No, he's going to do it.
He's going to take a shot.
Got a holding penalty.
He escapes the sack and just runs out of bounds as the clock ticks to 0.
So Lowndes going to decline this penalty. We're going to go to half is what's going to happen here.
Guys, at halftime, Valdosta leads 13-6 after a couple of early scores. This game has really settled down into a defensive chess match.
Yeah, you know, we started this game saying that the offensive line, defensive line for both teams was really going to be a big deal, and it has been. In my opinion, Valdosta's dominated this ball game at the line of scrimmage, and that's the difference in the ball game. If it hadn't been for the 2 turnovers by Valdosta on the fumbles that Lowndes recovered, it's a 13-0 ball game, if not more, with drives that Valdosta puts together.
Absolutely. And just to cement your point about the Valdosta domination, it shows up in the stats as well. Here's the halftime stats. Valdosta total offense 214 yards to Lowndes' 87, and you can really see that separating in the rushing game for both teams. Valdosta with 138 rushing yards to Lowndes' 81. That's basically been the difference of this game.
Yeah. You know, I've hammered it home a lot, man. That the line play from Valdosta has been spectacular.
Okay, Scott, one of the cool things about the Winnersville Classic is the band for both teams. So let's just let our audience enjoy the band.
Yeah.
aboard the Loves train. Choo-choo. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Show them some love. Do y'all want some more? I said, do you want some more? All right, marching cats, let's get jiggy with it. All you people out there, don't leave your seat. We got something for you. 'em some love. What my people at out there that like to get jiggy with it? You're never too old to drop it like it's hot. Marching cats, let's go ahead and get this crowd live. Show them how we do it. Here we go. Yeah, man. Come on, give them one more. Let's get it. Yeah. Oh. Say what? Back up. Yeah. Hey. Hey. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We hope y'all enjoyed that show. And if you did, show us some love. The show would be possible without Superintendent Dr. Todd Casey, Principal Janet Richardson, as we do the classic. Let's go. But let's not forget, let's give it up for the band director himself, Mr. Travis Kemper, Assistant Director, Mr. Andrew Hill, yours truly, drummer instructor, Mr. Arthur Atkins. Let's not forget Miss Joey Grimsley, Miss Julie Savoy, and we wouldn't be anything without those lovely ladies, Miss Karen Cook and Miss Keisha Thomas. Give it up for the baddest band in the land. You think you know, but you have no idea.
the Help Us South Georgia Medical Center and Life South Community Blood Centers, our school systems and community participated in the first ever Winnersville blood drive and saved 400 lives this week. In the Winnersville spirit, this is also a friendly competition. Congratulations to the Valdosta Wildcats for having the most donors. Viking fans, next week Dunbar High School will travel to Martin Stadium for homecoming. Dunbar is located in Fort Myers, Florida, and the school and community was devastated by Hurricane Ian. Tonight, the cheerleaders will be collecting money after our halftime show for Dunbar High School to assist their students and families in need. A check will be presented at next week's game. To show our support for those affected by Hurricane Ian. Updating some scores from around the area. Thomas County Central leads Tift County 7-0. Coffee County 21, Bradwell Institute 7. Richmond Hill and Camden County are tied at 7. And the number one team in 5A, Ware County leads Jenkins 17-7. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Superintendent Dr. Sean Harrelson and Principal Leanna McCall, we are proud to present the Lowndes High Georgia Bridgemen. Director of Bands is John Bowman, Assistant Director of Bands Michael Thomas and Dr. Jeff Grant. Middle school directors are Emily Ann Wynn, Alex Lynn, and Emily Griffin. Tonight, the Georgia Bridgemen will present a portion of their 2022 show entitled An Evening in Las Vegas. The band is under the field direction of drum majors Lindsay Taylor, Caden Powell, and Miles Green. We invite you now to sit back and relax and enjoy the sights and sounds of your Lowndes High Georgia Bridgemen.
We picked up 5 games.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Lowndes High Georgia Bridgemen.
Well, that was a tremendous job by both bands.
Man, very entertaining halftime.
Absolutely. Did you expect any less?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see the contrasting styles between both bands, but both of them outstanding performances.
Absolutely. Hey, quick shout out I need to take care of. We threw this together at kind of the last minute. Once everything sold out, and Lowndes said, hey, let's put this together. We needed some headphones.
Absolutely.
So, a big shout out to Valdosta City Mayor himself, Scott James, his cohort in business there, Spencer Van Horn, that is running the sports station there. They got us these and said, anything you need, and gave it to us. So big shout out to them. They'll be broadcasting Blazers tomorrow. Go support the Blazers as well. Listen to Spencer as he gives the call on the radio, 92.1 to bring on the Blazers.
Quick story about Scott James Matheson. When he was running for mayor, I sent him a message saying that you're going to win this thing, not mainly because of your policies or anything like that, because you are a cheerleader for the city.
Absolutely.
And this city needed a cheerleader bad. And he's the perfect guy at the perfect time for the perfect job.
And I've known him for a long time. You may not know this. Scott was actually at my wedding.
Is that right?
Yeah, so I've known him since he came to town, way back in like 91. We became friends, and I consider him a brother, and he's done a lot for this community, and everybody talks about how he shows you. Y'all, I'm telling you, I know him, I know his heart. You won't find a better man for the job.
That's right. Now, speaking of last minute putting things together, we really did. We literally did, Scott. We put all this thing together. We gathered around ourselves a great team of technical guys. You stepped up, and we put this production together in about 36 hours, 24 to 36 hours. But we also had a couple of sponsors to step up, too. I want to make sure I recognize them. First of all was Coons Heating and Air. You can contact these guys at 229-794-1712, home of the $120 annual service plan, honest Christian values coupled with small town hospitality. That's Coons Heating and Air. If you have an air conditioning need or the winter's coming up, you have a heating need, give these guys at Coons Heating and Air a call. We also want to thank Sam Dennis at Sam Dennis Law. He's always building relationships and fighting to win in the personal injury fight for his clients. Sam Dennis is battle ready. Contact Sam Dennis Law at 229-244-4428. Thank you for these outstanding sponsors stepping up at the last minute.
Well, I mean, and let's be honest, couldn't do it without them.
Absolutely.
This is a big ordeal, and for everything that you and Owen Prince and I'm not sure who all, Matthew North.
Absolutely.
And these guys standing over here to our right working the cameras, now they're eating nachos. They didn't offer us any, but they're eating them.
Listen, Scott, we are surrounded by an army of Technology Student Association students here, and they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job. We're all kind of learning a little bit as we go, and they're doing a good job. Matthew North, who heads up that program, does a good job. I've known him for his entire life. Good person, good family. So, yeah, everybody's kind of stepped up in here to take this on and get this on the air for those that can't get here because it's sold out, and for those that are so far away they can't get here.
Scott, speaking of capacity, we're at probably 10,500, maybe 11,000 when you add in the bands and the students and things like that. But we also want to thank our viewers that actually purchased this plan tonight.
That's right.
1,300 of you strong are joining us online tonight.
It's daunting that many people have to listen to me talk. That's kind of sad.
And check out this live show to open up the second half.
Okay, here's the question. What kind of adjustments has been made by Lowndes to counteract this line play by the Valdosta Wildcats?
Well, it's obvious that they're getting so much penetration. I think I'm expecting Lowndes to come out and start hitting these screen plays out to the flats. Earlier on, maybe a couple of slants here and there. They got to do something to back these defensive ends off the ball just at least a step. Because right now, what Lowndes is doing on offense, it's not working on that Valdosta defensive front. They're basically bull rushing on just about every single play. Marvis Parrish has been running for his life.
Yeah. No, I mean, they've dominated this ball game on the line of scrimmage, both offense and defense. And so Lowndes they've had to go into the locker room and say, literally call out the line and say, guys, you got to step up. Now, if you're on Valdosta, you go in. Do you make adjustments? What kind of adjustments do you make? You've done pretty good. With the exception of the 2 fumbles, they've pretty much dominated this football game.
Exactly right.
So Valdosta going to get the opening kickoff. They're going to run this football. They're going to put it on the offensive line and say, look, you've done it so far. Keep going. Keep doing the job for us. It's going to be up to the Lowndes defensive line to see if they can step up and stop it.
Absolutely. Shelton Felton has got to feel really, really good about his Cats right now. They're going to continue to do exactly that. Pound the ball up the middle. And there's a little muff kickoff return. He goes into the end zone. The White Hat immediately blows it dead.
It's a good call. Yeah, he didn't change the direction. He didn't change the direction of the ball. It was a muff. It goes in. And muffs are ignored in that situation. It broke the goal line. It's done.
Zach Grage is on the field discussing it with the side judge there, trying to get an explanation. And the official's trying his best to placate him. But nonetheless, we start the second half. Valdosta up 13-6. They get the ball after the touchback on their 20-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10. They start out with 2 wide receivers to the right. In almost a stack formation, White Hat is stopping play, and it looks like they're going to stop the band here.
It's once a game you can give it. It's going to happen. John Bowman, he knows he's the 12th man. They got a sign down there that says they're the 12th man. Now, what you're looking for is this crowd. Are they going to make up the difference?
This audience is about to go crazy. Let's just shut up here for a couple of minutes. Let the crowd hear this audience. Valdosta on a short game with a quarterback run up the middle, looks like. They pick up about 2 yards. Going to be 2nd and 8 from the Cat 22-yard line, maybe out to the 23. So he picks up 3 on the yard.
Well, just as we suspected, they come out immediately. They're going to run the football, put it on that offensive line that's done such a good job.
They're just simply going to chew up clock. They're content with just running the ball down the field. And why not with that big defensive front they've got? Another simple dive play right up the middle. Picks up another 3 yards. So it's going to be, early in this second half, Scott, 11 minutes left in the third quarter. It's 3rd down at about 4-yard line. 4 yards to go, rather. It feels like a big 3rd down play for the Lowndes Vikings.
Yeah, this could establish, how things are going to start this half. Can the Lowndes make the adjustments? Incomplete pass.
Wow, what a great defensive play. Looked like the Valdosta receiver came down with it, but a big-time hit by the Lowndes defender jarred the ball loose, and it's ruled incomplete.
Well, that's going to be a big stop. Lowndes needed to do that. Lowndes had to do that on this drive. They come in and send them with a 4 and out. That's what Lowndes needed.
That one play, you can feel it growing from the crowd right now. That one play has juiced up this crowd, and you can start to see or feel the momentum shifting over to the Lowndes Vikings. Let's see if it truly plays out. Kevis Thomas back on his 35-yard line, getting ready to field this Valdosta punt.
Grayson Levy's your kicker. Only punted one time this half, and it was a good one.
There's a delay of penalty on Valdosta. Going to back the ball up another 5 yards. And he's going to be kicking from his about 7-yard line.
So it starts off like Lowndes might be going after this. They've got 10 guys up on the front line. Great punt.
That's a good kick. He calls for a fair catch. I think Grage is going to have a talk with Kevis Thomas right there for that fair catch. It looked like he had a little bit of room to take off.
Yeah, but you got to remember they just went after that. There was no blocking. That's a situation where, hey, that's the call. They're coming after it hard. You just make sure you catch the football.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Okay, let's see if the Lowndes offense can do something with this momentum. They start this drive in great field position. 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. Marvis Parrish set to take the snap. Got Smoke flanked to his right. Low snap. Hands the ball off to Smoke, and he gets smoked in the backfield.
Yeah, Eric Brantley, again, called that name a few times tonight. Just busts through the line and makes the tackle.
Also the play back to the 37-yard line, 2nd down.
I wonder if head coach Zach Grage really challenged his team to be a little bit more physical with that defensive front for Valdosta.
Had to.
Parrish with the snap. He breaks loose. He's running to daylight. It's a foot race. Man, what a busted play. Didn't look like a design draw, but takes the snap right up the middle. And now Lowndes is in business again, deep in Valdosta territory, about the 10-yard line.
Well, Valdosta came with outside rush, and they came hard with it from the outside, which opened up the middle. The linebackers lost their containment, and he had open field. Nice notice by Mavis there.
Lowndes going in their up-tempo offense. Parrish takes the snap, hands it to Smoke, and he's just swallowed up by Eric Brantley. Big Eric Brantley just swallows up Smoke Fleming.
Smoke have to go out of play. Helmet come off. I tell you, that defensive front, Eric Brantley, Omar White, big number 8, TJ Morrison.
Yeah, they have been dominating that offensive line for Lowndes. Here's Parrish, takes the snap, rolls left, throws it quick, and but Scott, he just had to get rid of the ball.
Yeah.
Parrish
he did everything
was just pile drive to that ground. He looks like he's a little shaken up.
Yeah, number 4, Jalen Bentley, just got back there. I mean, by the time Parrish turned around, there's a dude in his face. Parrish was there.
And
Bentley was there.
And this has been the story of the night for the Lowndes offense. They've gotten down here deep in Valdosta territory, unable to convert. In fact, they keep going backwards, and here they are faced with a 3rd and goal from the 13-yard line.
I think if he can get some time, we might have a nice little slant across the middle that could open up right here.
And
but he's got to have the time.
That's going to be a delay of game. That is not the penalty that Lowndes needed right there. Gives up another 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and goal from the 18-yard line.
Well, if you're Lowndes, you look at it and say, well, we got more room to throw now. Find a positive.
I love your silver lining, Scott.
Valdosta, again, they're going to look at it as they're scared, they're afraid, They can't get the playoff. They don't know what they're doing. They're pressing a little bit.
Oh, no. Disaster for Lowndes. Poor quarterback, running back exchange there. Drops the ball on the ground, and Valdosta recovers the fumble and squashes a very, very promising Lowndes drive. And unfortunately, Lowndes, because of that turnover, cannot kick a field goal to pull within 4.
Hey, Omar White with the fumble recovery. I mean, that front 3 is just absolutely dominating this football game.
If Valdosta ends up indeed winning this game, the 3 most valuable players so far are those 3 defensive linemen for Valdosta.
Yep.
So Valdosta takes over after the Lowndes fumble with 8:52 left in the third quarter. They're up on the Lowndes Vikings 13-6. They've got the ball 1st and 10 on their 23-yard line rather. Little quarterback keeper out to the left side, runs out of bounds at about the 23-yard line for no gain. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 from their own 23.
Ronnie Davis runs him out of bounds. Good pursuit. Jaden Battle pushed him to the outside a little bit more. Jordan Gatlin in at running back now for the Wildcats.
Robinson takes the snap, rolls out to his right, wants to throw it, complete, breaks a tackle, goes out of bounds for about a 5-6 yard gain.
C.J. Brown pushing Whitehead out of bounds there.
We got a penalty on the Lowndes sideline over here. What's this going to be?
It's a good one. I don't know. We got a sideline warning maybe? Nope.
Looks like
we got an ineligible downfield for them. Same type situation. Quarterback rolling out. They thinking that he's going to run. They trying to get downfield and block. That's their job. That's what they want to do. And then he gets rid of the football. Now both sides have had that same penalty. Lowndes had it twice. Valdosta's had it once. Coach Felton didn't like it, just like Coach Graves didn't like his.
So that backs the ball back to the 17-yard line. 2nd down is 16 for the Valdosta Wildcats. 8:30 left in the third quarter. They're up 13-6. And there's going to be a timeout on the field.
Who called it?
I did not see it.
Valdosta's newest trash bin cleaning service. Tired of your trash being occupied?
Okay, it looks like it was on Lowndes. Lowndes calls the timeout. Maybe saw something they didn't like. 8:27 left is the time on the clock in the third quarter. Valdosta up 13-6. So really, Scott, the story of this game has been missed opportunities for the Lowndes Vikings, while Valdosta has been very opportunistic with a long length of the field drive. And then their second score of the game, they just busted one right up the middle from their own 20-yard line and raced 80 yards to go up 13-6.
Yeah. Lowndes, with they come out the first half, they get a 4 and out or a 3 and out. And then go down, they're driving, looking to score, they fumble the football. So now Lowndes trying to get some of that momentum back after that original stop of the second half to get another one here to hopefully get the ball back and maybe put some points on the board.
Valdosta's got the ball 2nd and 16. There's a deep throw. It's going to be incomplete.
Pretty good coverage there. That was kind of a 50-50 ball. He's going to throw it up. He's hopefully going to try and keep it on the outside of the defender so that the only person that has an opportunity to catch it is the offensive receiver, number 1, Whitehead. But pretty good coverage there by the Vikings cornerback, Ja'Kai Blair.
Okay, here's another big third down. It seems like we keep saying that in this game, but it's true with a one-score game between these two heated rivals.
And Valdosta's converted a lot of them. So this is third and about 16 is going to make it tough.
He's not going to get it. Robinson's going to scamper out of bounds, really chased in a very hot pursuit, but he makes it to the edge, runs out of bounds, does not pick up the first down. It's going to be fourth down and about 6 yards, 7 yards to go.
Well, I mean, that was the quarterback draw that they dialed up for their first touchdown. They dialed it up earlier in the game, later in the game after that for about an 8-yard gain, and they were looking for the same thing, and Lowndes just swallowed it up and covered it up.
Scott, with that play, Valdosta is now 5 of 8 on third down conversions, while Lowndes is only 1 of 9 on third down conversions.
That's a big difference.
That's a big difference.
Big difference. Got a flag down on this one, so it's a live ball, so it's more than likely going to be on the offense. Looks like they're going to make them punt it again.
Why not? With a very dangerous return guy like Kevis Thomas back there, you give him a little bit of space. He's a 3-star athlete, and he's ranked that high in the rankings for a reason.
Yeah.
Tremendous athlete.
So if they...
But is Lowndes just going to take the ball? They're going to decline the ball? No, they're going to march off a penalty from where
they're going to take it down there.
Yeah, okay. So Lowndes takes over. 7:50 left in the third quarter. Valdosta is up 13-6. Lowndes has it 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. Really, Lowndes has really started the night in fairly good field positions, Scott.
Yeah, well, they've got to take advantage of it. That's the thing they haven't done. They haven't taken advantage of it.
Look at that Valdosta defensive front. All 11 guys near that ball. And there's why right there. Wildcat run by Smoke Fleming. He gets it about 4 yards out.
One thing that both teams have got to do, yes, this is a rivalry game. There's a lot of emotion, but we don't need any of the chippiness going on out there for either team. For either team. Well, Valdosta is loading the box, and they're putting pressure on the. So we don't have a whole lot of time to throw. So they're bringing the house right here. Looks like we're going to have encroachment. They was bringing the house. They just brought them too soon.
Scott, that encroachment really canceled out a play. It looked like Marvis Parrish was looking deep down the sideline for just a go route in his favorite receiver, Kevis Thomas. That matchup that we looked for early in the game, Kevis Thomas against the defensive back for Valdosta, Tim Roberson, was on display in that previous play. There we go again. That Valdosta defensive front is just so strong.
I mean, and they had linebackers and cornerbacks. They had everybody but, their running backs in the backfield on that one almost.
And they lost 2. That makes it 3rd and 4 from about the 41-yard line. Lowndes got the ball, 6:45 left in the third quarter. They're down 13-6.
Amari Tomlin was one of those quickest ones in the backfield last play. Lowndes trying to draw him off sides. It's a pass play. He tucks it. Can't convert.
Valdosta is going to stop Lowndes again, forcing another 4th down. What's Lowndes going to do? Well, they got the ball at midfield. They got to punt.
Got to punt here. Once again, this midfield punt is the one. If I'm Coach Shelton, I'm really paying attention to make sure we don't do the little rugby punt. Because 4th and about 4, if they're not careful, a little rugby punt might be able to pick up a little first down. Defended well. Whew.
So the Valdosta receiver, Eli Lewis, fields the ball. Valdosta's gonna have the ball on their 24-yard line. 1st and 10, Valdosta takes over. Lowndes really needs a 3 and out. If we're gonna play this position game, this ball field position game, Scott, Lowndes is going. They've shown so far to be really pretty much ineffective running the ball.
Well, and Valdosta's done this. I mean, they've come out. They've had two 3 and outs in a row. So Lowndes has done their job on defense so far, but so has Valdosta.
That's right. That's a quarterback keeper. Robinson takes it about a 12-yard gain, but did I see a penalty?
Yeah, you're gonna have a false start. Well, a illegal procedure penalty here. I saw a flag go up.
I saw one. Did he pick it up? Apparently he did.
But I sure saw one go up. Hey, we need to go to the replay.
Well, nonetheless, Valdosta's got the ball, 1st down, their own 36-yard line. Hands the ball just right off that right tackle. Picks up a strong 4 yards. Now, unfortunately for the Lowndes Vikings, this drive is starting to really chew up some clock. We're approaching 5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. They're down 13-6 to a pretty strong Valdosta run game. Robinson takes the snap, calls his own number, and Lowndes eats him up.
Yeah. You got Jaden Battle back there at the beginning, trying to catch the number of the other guy. Number 40, yeah. That's Jaden Stallworth, linebacker. They both get back there.
Here's a big 3rd down. PA announcer announces 3rd down, trying to get the crowd into this game, pump a little life into this team. It's another big 3rd and 10 for Valdosta. Lowndes needs a big stop here, Scott.
Oh, in the backfield.
Who was that? 49.
49. Marion Whitlock.
Big O'Marion Whitlock blows up that play for about a 3-yard loss, and that's going to force Valdosta's punt team in. Grayson Levy's going to come in to punt for Valdosta. And here we go, talking about that field position game. Can Lowndes capitalize?
Well, I mean, the defense for Lowndes has done exactly what they wanted to do to start this half. They've come in, they've played defense, they've stopped the run. They've had 2, or this will be their 3rd 3 and out. But Lowndes, if they want to get back in this ball game, they're gonna have to make a play.
That's a high booming kick. Kivas Thomas.
We did have a flag on that one.
Well, let's see what the flag is. He fields the ball with a fair catch on about the Lowndes 31-yard line, but there is a procedure penalty against Valdosta.
So, and I saw Coach Gray say they're going to take it on the, take it downfield. Man, I'm getting old for all this standing.
Yeah, I know exactly what we've been on our feet for what seems like 10,000 straight hours here.
Yeah. All right, so can Lowndes put something together? Will the defensive line for Valdosta continue their dominance?
Scott, it just seems like everything that Lowndes has dialed up hasn't worked because it's been eaten up by that very strong defensive front 3 for Valdosta.
Well, Jarius Curry comes in there in the linebacker position and makes that play. I've watched him a couple times as he wants to slide down to the outside, almost be a stand-up defensive end. But he got the penetration and made that play.
The unfortunate thing for Lowndes is Valdosta is controlling the line of scrimmage with their down linemen. That puts so much. Well, let's take a look at this play. Marvis Parrish breaks quarterback scamper right up the middle there for about a 5-yard gain. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 3. My point was Valdosta is controlling the offensive line of scrimmage with just their front, they're down 3 or 4, and that leaves their entire linebacking core and defensive back to kind of back off the ball and shut down any type of a passing game.
Yeah. Well, and then they're also filling gaps extremely well. Once there is one there, it just goes away.
Lowndes with a shift, an entire line shift. And that doesn't work. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I spoke too soon. It looked like he was going to stop for no yardage, but Smoke keeps his legs churning.
Grabbing the smoke, baby. You just can't do it. Can't grab smoke.
Great spin move out to the outside and picks up about 8-9 yards on the carry. Results in a Lowndes first down.
A couple of missed tackles there for Valdosta that has not happened a whole lot this game.
Lowndes has got the ball 1st and 10 on Valdosta's side of the 50, about the 49-yard line. Hands it off to Aleem Brown, tries to get to the outside, and that pursuit by that Valdosta defense is just so fast.
Jalen Bentley doing a really good job there, pushing him back in and still made the tackle.
Scott, so what do? You try to run up the middle. That big front 3 shuts it down. You try to speed to the outside, and they've got outside linebackers that are so fast.
Do you put your speed guys maybe on the outside and just give me a quick snap, throw it in the air, see if the guy can't run under one for a big gain?
Here it is, 2nd 12.
Completed the pass to himself.
Initially, the pass was batted back by
Jarius Curry.
By Jarius Curry. Marvis Parrish catches his own pass and is downed immediately by Mr. Carey.
That could be one of those situations where, Parrish isn't 6'1".
Right.
And that was obvious, another screenplay, and they have really defended that well this game. That's about the 3rd or 4th one that's been batted down?
Well, you can tell Shelton Felton and his assistant coaching staff has really done their homework on this screen game. Marvis scampers out to the right side and takes a big shot.
Well, he actually had a little bit of time then to try and get a play, get a pass downfield, but he just couldn't get it in as we come to the end of the 3rd quarter, and it's still 13-6.
This has been a low-scoring defensive slugfest with the exception of a big, long run by Valdosta. It's really the tale of 2 defenses really shutting down the other offense. Valdosta's gotten a little bit more spark. They've taken advantage of opportunities they've had. Lowndes' tale of the tape is they failed to take advantage of their opportunities.
That's right. You're exactly right. I think at this point in time, if the game was over with right now, that's the thing. We're going to talk about the defensive line of both teams, especially this second half, and then we're going to talk about missed opportunities.
Absolutely. So if I were Shane Thomas, the sports editor of Valdosta Daily Times, I'm already thinking about my headline for tomorrow morning, and it could be Valdosta wins on Lowndes' missed opportunities.
Could. I still got to call that defensive line my MVP right now for
Absolutely.
Valdosta.
No doubt. So, guys, we enter this 4th and final period of the Winnersville Classic for 2022. Valdosta leads this game 13-6. 12 minutes left in this game. Lowndes starts this period 4th down. They're going to be forced to punt with Carson Page lined up to punt this ball away to Valdosta.
Another big punt coming on here by Carson Page.
Looks like he hit that one off the side of his foot. Bounces out around the 30-yard line.
Outside of bounds of the Wildcat 30-yard line. Well, folks, for all of you who participated in the
So as we're waiting, Scott, for play to resume, just going to go ahead and just a quick scoring summary. Lowndes started out scoring in the first quarter, 8:46 left in the first quarter on a 22-yard field goal by Aiden Andrews. Valdosta scores with 5:05 left in the first quarter. Tobin Robinson runs for 19 yards. Valdosta again scores with 1:41 left in the first quarter on a long 80-yard run, and then Lowndes kicks a field goal with 11:33 left in the second quarter.
Got a holding penalty there. It's picked off.
It's picked off by Lowndes. And that's Johnny Bebo, I believe, number 4. And he's still going. Now we got the rugby-style play here. They're about to blow this penalty. But we got a penalty on the field. We got 2 Wildcat players still on the ground. We got a lot to sort out here, Scott.
And we got a holding penalty. That's going to be declined, because we got the interception, but we got another one way back downfield over here at about the 45-yard line. I'll be curious as to what that is.
So the officials with their white hats over there conferring, talking about, trying to sort out the penalties.
Well, the white hat threw the holding penalty. That one's going to be declined. I'm just, after the interception is where those two come in. I think what you're going to have there is probably some kind of a block in the back or something like that.
Here comes the white hat. He's about to. Okay, so he's talking to the head coach, Zach Gray, so it looks like both penalties may be on Valdosta.
No. What he's doing, he's telling, this is what I'm telling you, that right there, the penalty's back around the 45, that's going to be on Lowndes. And so we're going to go back to where those penalties are and mark those penalties off. So we're not going to get the ball down around the 10. We're going to go back to those penalties and back up the penalty there, but we're still going to have the football.
Okay, so he's explaining what's happening to Zach Rage.
That's right. And that's, obviously I'm not in that huddle. That's what I'm guessing. And based off what everybody else is doing, that's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like.
But the big thing is Lowndes is going to have the football with another turnover, third of the game for Valdosta. Can Lowndes
do something with this opportunity?
Can they take advantage of this opportunity for a change? Personal foul. Targeting. Oh, that's a blindside block.
That's a blindside block.
Targeting.
After the turnover, there was a blindside block, looks like, but that's going to take the ball all the way back to the Lowndes 40-yard line. Now, the good news is if you're a Lowndes fan, Lowndes gets the ball back on turnover, but that blindside block is basically a 40-yard penalty, Scott.
More than that, because we were down around the 10. So, we're what, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50-yard penalty.
A 50-yard penalty in essence.
First down, Vikings from their own 40-yard line.
But we got the football.
Yeah. On the stat sheet, it's going to show up as a 10, 15-yard penalty, but in reality, it was a 50-yard penalty.
Exactly.
Marvis Parrish takes the snap, hands off to Smoke Fleming. He dances around a little bit, picks up maybe 1 yard. Scott, if you're a Lowndes fan sitting in the stands here, you got to be wondering to yourself, how patient is the coaching staff going to be with this run game? When do they start taking shots deep? Because we are approaching 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Well, I mean, the few times that they've tried, they weren't very successful, and they don't have a whole lot of time.
Yeah. Parrish just trying to throw that ball away, but there again, there's another penalty.
Gosh.
Looks like, well, there's 2 penalties now.
Both of them are on Lowndes. Looks like you're going to have a illegal procedure over here, the first one in the backfield, and then you're going to have a dead ball because Smoke was still blocking a guy way downfield out of bounds. And so you're going to mark both those off.
Oh, wow.
Illegal shift against Lowndes. Personal foul against Lowndes.
So, in essence, that's a 20-yard penalty.
You got a live ball and a dead ball. Remember earlier I talked about the chippiness and keeping yourself under control, and you can't do that in a rivalry game.
Yeah.
That was the situation. I think Smoke's probably a little frustrated because he is just being completely engulfed every time he touches the football. So he's probably a little bit frustrated, but you cannot let that happen.
You can't, and as a result, unfortunately, that backs Lowndes way back to there. He's still stepping it off to about the 21-yard line.
It's a 20-yard penalty because you got a 15-yard dead ball, personal foul, plus 5-yard illegal shift.
So it's going to be a replay of the down, but now you're talking 2nd and 30. That's Aleem Brown on the carry, and he goes nowhere. Might have lost about a yard.
Eric Brantley again. I mean, I just can't talk enough about this defensive line for Valdosta and what they've done. As the Valdosta fans really start to get into it out there.
There's that big number 10, Omar White again, just eats up Aleem Brown. That's going to make it 4th down. 4th down and forever. Now, if you're a Lowndes fan, you got to start watching the clock. It's under 10 minutes, 9:48 as the clock ticks. Seems like we're in a time warp, and that clock is ticking down faster than it should be. That's my perception anyway, if you're a Lowndes fan. Now we're approaching 9:35.
But if you're Valdosta, it's ticking awful slow.
Touche, Scott.
Great
There's
punt.
another great punt. He's take a roll. Oh, it bounces sideways. Still rolling. They're going to down the ball about the 33-yard line.
Can Valdosta put something together here and try and create some type of a drive to take more time off the clock, or can Lowndes continue their stellar defense that they've had here in the second half? That's going to be the big question. You know, as we tick down to 9:18 left to go in the game at 13-6, you know, there's a stalemate going right here. Somebody, does it continue and Valdosta hang on and win this game 13-6, or can somebody step up and either close the gap or widen the gap?
Ashley Anders, the new defensive coordinator for Lowndes, has really challenged his guys, and they've really stepped up, Scott, in the second half.
Yeah.
They've basically matched shot for shot with the Valdosta defense, and Lowndes needs another big defensive stand here. And there we go. Valdosta tries to run.
Vernon Wright.
Tries to run up the middle again. Vernon Wright and that entire right side of that Lowndes defense line eats him up. They end up losing about 2 on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 12. Stop running, you crazy clock. It's 8:57 left in the 4th quarter now. Valdosta leading Lowndes 13-6. Valdosta with a 2nd and 11, 2nd and 12. Takes the snap, hands it off. They're just content to run this ball.
Ooh, stood up. Trying to get a number there.
Well, the last 2 plays, Valdosta has picked on the Lowndes right front defensive line, and for 2 plays in a row, they've run into a stone concrete wall.
Well, he ran into Javen Mariano on that one, and he got stuck.
So now it's a big 3rd and 9. Lowndes needs this stop bad to force a 3 and out to take over. Man, that was a big play.
Yeah, big conversion there.
Looked like a slot receiver just lost his guy in space. Robinson found him wide open in the middle of that defense, completes it for about 15 yards, picks up a Valdosta first down, and keeps that clock running.
Big catch there by Shakevius Wright.
With 7:35 left in the fourth quarter, Valdosta leads this thing 13-6. They are starting to mount a drive, Scott. I got a bad feeling. On first down from about the 43-yard line, Gatlin picks up 5 yards on the play. Going to set up a 2nd and 5 for the Wildcats.
Makai Crawford in on that one, as well as number 30, Deshaun Smith. That's who that was.
Robinson commands his troops. Going up to the line of scrimmage. He's in a shotgun formation. Running back flanks to his right. Snaps the ball. Just content to hand the ball off. Lowndes stops him cold that time. Golly, how many times, Scott, do we have to say another big third down?
Johnny Bebo in there on that tackle. Linebacker making the stop. Crowd tries to get into it a little bit.
I see a loyal Lowndes fan right in the middle of a sea of fans that are sitting down. This one guy is trying to whip up the crowd. Oh, that's a big stop right there. Big hit.
Big hit. Once again, Johnny Bebo with the play.
That sets up a 4th and about 4.5 yards. Going to force Valdosta into a punt. Grayson Levy going to punt this ball back to Lowndes. Scott, Grayson Levy, when he punts, he gets so much air under that ball. It's really not giving Kivas Thomas any type of time to take off with it.
And once again, it looks like we're coming after it too, because
skies that kick, calls for a fair catch, catches at about the 12-yard line.
All right, 6 minutes. Time is running short. Can Lowndes put together a drive, or will that defensive line of Valdosta continue to dominate? It's the question right now.
That's right. Every year purchase from Valdosta comes with a lifetime power training. 4 years of no-cost maintenance, 5 years of 24/7 emergency roadside assistance, lifetime service and control for the from our collision center.
Lowndes takes over 1st and 10 from their 12-yard line. 6 minutes exactly left in this fourth quarter. They're trailing 13-6 to the Valdosta Wildcats. Marvis Parrish takes the snap. He's back. He's in the end zone, running for his life, scrambling, and he's going to get sacked, slammed to the turf at about the 7-yard line.
Omar White. How many times we called that name tonight?
Omar White, Eric Brantley.
Yeah, it looks like Brantley might be down with a cramp right here. I hope that's all it is. You don't want to see anybody get hurt. It looked like Lowndes come in that time and put in an extra blocker to try and give a little bit more time, but it didn't slow anybody down. They were back there. And
Scott, if you are a football fan, you got to stand up and tip your cap to the front three for Valdosta.
Absolutely.
Number 8, T.J. Morrison, Eric Brantley, and Omar White.
Absolutely. And your outside linebackers have done a good job with pursuit on the outside. I mean, Valdosta come in with a really good game plan. Everybody talked about their defense coming into this game, and they've lived up to the hype.
Yeah.
They really have. Yeah, this is definitely a cramp. So you hate to see it.
But does Lowndes
try to take advantage of it?
Absolutely.
Exactly. I mean, you don't want to see anybody get hurt, and thankfully it's just a cramp that can be taken care of rather easily. But they're going to put somebody in his spot, and can that guy that comes in and takes that spot, it looks like it's going to be number 54 coming in that, Daley Sims. So can Daley Sims take on the same thing that Eric Brantley's done? And if not, can Lowndes take advantage of it?
Marvis Parrish rolls out to the left, throws it to Kevis Thomas. Kevis keeps his legs turned. It looks like he's going to pick up the first down.
Yep, got enough. Looks like he gained just enough. Nice little touch pass there by Parrish, just getting it over the defenders. Thomas just kind of settled into the little hole in that defense, in the zone defense that Valdosta was running there. As Timmy Neesmith starts the chant of "Go Vikings, Go" in front of us.
Lowndes with the ball on their 24-yard line, 1st and 10. Parrish tries to take off, gets swallowed up by that.
Omar White.
Oh, my goodness. Mr. White, Mr. Brantley, Mr. Morrison.
And notice Brantley is back in the game. He took one play off, had that cramp, got it worked out, is back in the game.
You can tell he's still feeling that cramp,
he's still feeling it.
Listen, this is the Winnersville Classic. You can treat that cramp tomorrow.
That's right. They'll give you an IV after the game. Second long here. Little flea flicker.
Looks like it's complete. Out to
downfield.
the 37-yard line.
Jalen Carter with the catch.
Now, we got a player down there on the field.
That's Parrish.
Is that Marvis hurt?
Yeah. He took a lick after he got rid of that football because he was being chased. I know that's hard to believe that he's been chased, but, I mean, he's been chased all night, and he finally got caught.
Okay, so if that's Parrish, and it looks like that it is, and you're Zach Grage and Sean Sutton, what do? Do you line Kevis Thomas up in a Wildcat formation, or do you bring in the young Ty Snellgrove?
Well, I think the answer to that question depends on how bad he's hurt. I mean, we're at the point now, 4:04 left to go in the ball game. It's a 13-6 game. Lowndes has got the ball. They're, inside their own 40, so they've got 60-plus yards to go to try and at least tie this ball game up. I don't know if you can do that in a Wildcat formation. I could be wrong. That's why I'm up here, not down there. Quarterback is getting loose. So, that's some big shit. That's tough. Put a young, because isn't he a freshman?
He is a freshman. Now, we're going to reach out to Chase Garnto, our sideline reporter down there, see if we can get kind of a feeling on the move. Chase, you're down on the sideline, man, during this break. It looks like we've got an injured player. It looks like Marvis Parrish might be down. They're tending to him down there. What is the general mood on the Lowndes sideline with 4:04 left in the fourth quarter?
It's optimistic. These guys are still realizing they're in this ball game. Defense is playing lights out. The offense is just looking for one big play, one big spark, and it'll be a different ball game.
Now, Chase, as we all stand and give an ovation to Marvis Parrish coming off the field.
Yeah, he's played tough all night, Larry. You can't take nothing away from him. This may be the spark that the offense needs to get back on track. Is rally around him.
So, Chase, here's your goal. Even if you just send a little text up to us, we need to know exactly what's going on with him. Is it his back? Are we dealing with a concussion protocol? What's going on? I'm sure the fans would love to know that if we could find it out.
As soon as I know, y'all know.
Thank you, bud.
Thanks, Chase.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Jay's doing a great job on the sideline reporting tonight.
All right, so the youngster is in. Well, no, we're in a Wildcat.
We're in a Wildcat. And that goes nowhere. Results in no gain on the play.
Amari Tomlin in on that tackle again.
That's going to give Lowndes 2nd and 10 on their 37-yard line. Looks like they're content to stay in a Wildcat formation with smoke back there.
You know, and if you're Valdosta at this point in time, well, we got one. We got some little extracurricular there.
That's going to stop the clock, Scott, with 3:12 left in this game. Lowndes is down 13-6.
I think we might have got Omar White here with a little extracurricular, but let's see who it's on. So that's going to help out Lowndes. But now if you're Valdosta and you see the Wildcat formation with smoke back there, I mean, you're dead run. You're loading the box. You got to.
That's a big penalty. It gives Lowndes a big first down.
Snellgrove's in the game now.
Now this is going to be interesting. A lot of people are very high on this young freshman quarterback, Ty Snellgrove, enters the game. I think Zach Grage knows that he's got to open this thing up and brings in the true quarterback. Oh, no. Snellgrove, man, he enters the game, big spotlight, Winnersville Classic. He's a freshman, takes a snap, loses focus a little bit, looks like. It was a fast snap back to him.
Well, as an 8th grader, I was a quarterback in a game, and it's so fast. That first snap, your hands are like bricks. You're scared to death.
Absolutely.
He has to feel that too. Don't give up on the kid, though.
Absolutely. He's going to be a wonderful talent for this Lowndes team and for many, many years to come. Parrish is back in the game.
Yep, just no time.
After the fumble and recovery by Lowndes, loses 5 yards. Parrish comes back in the game. Looks like he tries to pass and is also taken down for a sack.
Well, you talk about big third downs. Under 2 minutes left to go in the ball game. 3rd and 20. If Lowndes doesn't get the first down on this play, we're going on 4th down.
Yep.
Got to.
You got to.
Everything is 4-down territory now.
Oh, no.
Picked off.
That may have sealed the fate
Jalen Bentley
of the Lowndes
with
Vikings.
a huge interception for the Wildcats at 1:34 left to go in this ball game. And I do believe the Lowndes fans think that's the game because they're
heading for the
making
exits.
a mad dash for the exit.
So that was a classic case of quarterback sees his receiver, he has tunnel vision, sees his receiver starting to break open, but does not see that safety sitting in the middle of the field, and it was basically an easy pick.
Yeah, Lowndes, it shows that they have all 3 timeouts, but somebody called a timeout earlier in the ball game. They didn't ever really point to which side it was. We thought it was Lowndes, but it shows that Lowndes has all 3 timeouts. We got a flag.
Well, with 1:34 left in this game, Valdosta is leading 13-6 over the Lowndes Vikings.
So we got an illegal substitution on Valdosta that's going to back him up 5. So Valdosta's got, Lowndes shows all 3 timeouts. If, Valdosta's running the football.
Absolutely.
Okay, so look for a stop, timeout, stop, timeout, stop, timeout to try and get the ball back to hopefully have one more shot at it.
So if you do the math, Lowndes could possibly get this ball back with a little over a minute left. If it's a 3 and out, they use all their timeouts, and there's a quick stop up the middle. Expect Lowndes to burn a timeout, and there it is. Minute 27 left.
Makai Crawford in on that tackle. So, yeah, I mean, Valdosta's they're going to run the football. There's no doubt about it. And just because I'm the type of guy that I am, because I'll never give up until the whistle blows, till that horn blows, okay? I would, just for the spite of all the people leaving right now, I'd like to see Lowndes get this ball back and a big play happen, and then they end up winning this ball game, and these fans will miss it.
Wouldn't that be something?
And it's happened.
Back in 2012, I believe.
For Valdosta.
For Valdosta, Lowndes was up by a couple of scores with less than 2 minutes left. And Scott, we call it the miracle at Martin.
Yeah, and it was. So, anything can happen. It's the Winnersville Classic. It is the Winnersville Classic. Anything can happen. And usually does. So it's going to be another run of play as we come out. 1:27 left on the clock. 13-6 is your score. 2 timeouts remaining for Lowndes. They line up in that pistol. Valdosta hands it off. He's hit in the backfield, but loses it. Coleman Lewis in there, but loses the tackle, but he's swamped up again real quick. There's your timeout. 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock now. 13-6 your score.
That play took about 7 seconds off the clock.
I'm telling you, if we can come in and we'll call another timeout. But here's the deal. We got on third down, we call that, that third and final timeout. And then they'll run 40 seconds off the clock, probably take a delay of game, and then punt. So we're not going to have a lot of time. Lowndes ain't going to have a lot of time, but they'll have some. And as the great philosopher Lloyd Christmas in Dumb and Dumber said, so you're saying there's a chance.
Now let's assume for a second Lowndes gets the ball back with a little over a minute left. That means with no timeouts.
It won't be that much. There'll be less time than that because they're going to run that 40-second when they get ready to punt. No, you might be right. I'm thinking wrong.
So my point is, can Lowndes work that sideline? Because they're going to have to work that sideline. And there's the stop. Immediate timeout.
All right, so now it's going to be fourth down. Minute 14 left to go in the ball game. So they're going to kick it. We'll get it with just over a minute left. You're right.
Now here's the deal. If you're a Lowndes fan, you are just hoping beyond hope that either Grayson Levy, the Valdosta punter, shanks one off the side of his foot or kicks a line drive, does something to give the 3-star athlete for Lowndes, Kevis Thomas, a running start. Maybe he can break one here.
Yeah.
But, I think if history repeats itself in this game, he skied every punt that he's had. He's forced Kevis Thomas into fair catches on just about every punt.
Well, and then you wonder, okay, I don't think we've really set up a return all night long. We haven't. And it might be because they look at it and say, well, with the way Grayson kicks, he gets a good high kick, so they get good coverage on it. So are they going to go after it again? Or are they going to try and set up a return? They've went after it all night long and hadn't really come close. Interesting call.
Here we go, guys. Minute 14 left. Fourth down.
We got a penalty too. Tried to set up the return and it wasn't there, but we're going to have too many men on the field because after the timeout we sent too many out there. Guy tried to get off and he couldn't get off.
He's probably going to decline this penalty, don't you think? Oh, he's going to make him punt it again?
No, they're calling illegal procedure on Valdosta again.
Wow.
They must be doing something on their alignment that's creating that. So that's going to give Lowndes an extra 5 yards to start at. So we're at the 25. They're going to get the ball at the 30. Lowndes has got 70 yards to go in 1 minute 9 seconds.
So are we about to see Lowndes' version of the miracle at Martin? Marvis Parrish, after getting injured briefly out of the game, he's back for this final series. He's got his troops lined up in a shotgun formation.
Valdosta's in that dime package. They're playing a little bit of prevent, so look for maybe some short outs. Good job getting rid of that football. Nothing there. Valdosta went man-to-man coverage with 3 deep, and nothing opened up. Nothing opened up. Good defense by Valdosta.
Again, with a 4-man rush there, they were still able to get plenty of pressure on Marvis Parish. It's going to set up 2nd and 10. Lowndes has got the ball, their 30-yard line, 1 minute, 2 seconds left. They're down 13-6. Man, they need something to happen. He was hit right as he was throwing the ball. Took a big shot, and he's down on the dirt.
Eric Brantley just absolutely destroyed him.
And, man, what toughness this kid, Marvis Parish, is showing. He knows, Scott, that if he stays down a fraction of a second longer, they're going to force him out onto the sideline for one play at least. So he picks himself up with strong will, keeps himself in this game. It's 3rd and 10. 3rd and 10 from the Lowndes 30. The story of the night has been that defensive front for the Valdosta Wildcats.
And they're showing it here, too, because I mean, they're rushing 4 is all they're rushing right now. And he's getting hit as he throws.
Smoke's running to the sideline. He gets out of bounds. Looks like he's got a first down.
But Parrish is hurt again.
He's going to have to come out.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting hit and hit and hit.
And Valdosta, again, only a 4-man rush, but on that particular play, both of those defensive ends came blazing around their ends and basically met at the quarterback.
That's right. Outside, they had their 3 down linemen and had an outside linebacker lined up on the right side. And your big guy, Omar White, and I believe it was number 15, Amari Tomlin, met in the backfield. And I believe Parrish is going to need a good ice bath when this day is over with. It's good to see both Lowndes and Valdosta physicians out there to check on the player.
Yeah.
You know, this, like I've said before, it's a big rivalry, but, you know.
You never want to see one of these student athletes hurt.
And nobody would ever want to do it and injure anybody on purpose. These kids have grown up together. They know each other. This kid has played his heart out.
Now he's being helped off the field, mostly under his own power.
Yeah, he keeps holding his back a little bit as he comes off, so my man's just beat up. He's just beat up. So with 51 seconds left to go in the ball game, it's still 13-6. And we're going to have to go with our backup quarterback in this situation. Do you put in the Wildcat pass package and throw out of it to surprise everybody?
We're about to find out.
Quarterback's in, Snellgrove's in.
Snellgrove's in. How about this, Scott?
That's good. I like that.
If you're Ty Snellgrove and you wake up this morning entering your first Winnersville Classic, there's no way in the world he thinks that he's going to be quarterbacking this team with under a minute left and his team down by a touchdown. But here it is. He throws a screen pass to Smoke. Smoke gets quickly out of bounds, about 46 seconds left.
I tell you what we ought to look at, too. Now, I watched it on that play. Number 83, your tight end for the Vikings coming off the line, they're just kind of leaving him alone, and he's looking to find somebody to block. So it wouldn't shock me for Lowndes to maybe try and hit a little tight end dump pass here. The problem with that is it's going to put him in the middle of the field.
That's right. Number 83 for Lowndes, that's big Grant Lasky. Ty Snellgrove in the shotgun formation, about 5-6 yards off the ball, calls for the snap. Oh, he throws.
Oh, it was caught.
Was it caught? Was it caught? Was it caught?
It was
my
caught.
gosh, it was caught.
So 2 defenders for Valdosta go up and just bat it. And I'm sorry. Holy cow.
That was Kevis Thomas on the
comes in
reception.
and makes the catch. So there is miracles still out there.
But that clock is running. 30 seconds left in this game. Oh, no.
That's okay.
Little miscommunication there.
That's okay.
Elgro's pass is incomplete.
That stops the clock.
Stops the clock.
Second down from the Wildcat 30.
So that might have been actually that little tight end that going down the middle of the field, and he just got caught up in players because they were going the middle of the field with that pass.
Now, how about this for a Winnersville Classic when we say both teams seem equally matched? Lowndes with a shot, some shot at the Valdosta 30-yard line. It's 2nd and 10. Oh, no, bad snap. Snellgrove is forced.
They got to get up and
They got to
spike the
go.
ball.
They got to go.
Get up and spike the ball.
Oh, no, the clock's gonna run out.
No. That's not an incomplete pass. Oh my gosh.
Well, we just got away with one there.
Yes, because that's a fumble.
Now, if you're an official, you're looking for a quarterback or anybody back there in that shotgun position, takes it and actually throws it down with one hand. Now, what he did was caught it with 2 hands and just tossed it down.
You're not allowed to spike it in the shotgun formation unless that rule's changed. And I've been out of it for 4 years.
But apparently they just let him. So it may have changed.
It may have changed.
This might be the final play.
Final play of the game.
Final play of the game. 4th down. There's the toss. And
incomplete.
It's incomplete, and there's time's run off the clock. And Valdosta has won the Winnersville Classic of 2022. That's going to be your final score. Valdosta defeats Lowndes 13-6. Valdosta is going to go 7-0 on the year. And here they are. They're waving their Wildcat flags at the 50-yard line. Looks like they're purposely stomping on the Viking head there.
Well, let's just...
The coaches come out.
Not notice that. Coaches are doing a good job trying to break that up. Good job by the coaches.
Guys, that's going to wrap us up. Now, being a Lowndes guy, a couple of Lowndes guys, Scott, we're definitely disappointed. Now, we were treated to a really, really good football game.
Well, that's what when you look at the Winnersville Classic, that's what you're wanting. You're wanting a good, hard-fought ball game, and that's what we had, okay? The defense for Valdosta lived up to the hype. That front line did their job all night long. They were in the backfield. Valdosta had a game plan, and it worked. Lowndes had a game plan and just kept getting stalemated just because of that defensive front for Valdosta. Lowndes has really got nothing to hang their head on. Do they have room to improve? Obviously.
Absolutely.
Lowndes is a young team. They have room to grow. I'm not going to count them out. Valdosta, I'm going to tell you, that the Colquitt County Valdosta game is going to be a humdinger in a few weeks.
It's going to be big. Now, it's going to be big. Now, speaking of the region, Valdosta now overall goes to 7-0 and 1-0, importantly, in this region. And with a region that only has 5 teams, you got 4 shots at this thing.
Yeah.
And Valdosta takes the early lead with a 1-0 record in the region. Lowndes falls to 3-3 overall. And what's worse is now they're 0-1 and behind the 8 ball in the region. But maybe next week they can bounce back as Dunbar High School out of the Fort Myer area comes up to the Concrete Palace. And we're going to play an unusual non-region game in the middle of the region schedule.
Yeah. And while we're talking about that, this Dunbar is coming up from Fort Myers, who is right now dealing with a lot of stuff after Hurricane Ian. And so if I'm not mistaken, there's going to be a lot of situations for Lowndes fans to really come in and step up and to be a part of helping that community when this game happens next week. So, guys, if you're in town and you are looking for something, it's going to be out there. Follow it on Facebook. There'll be things to do.
Absolutely. Guys, we'll end the broadcast with a recap of the stats tonight. Valdosta wins the total offense, but, you know, Scott, I remember at the end of the first half, we read out the stats, and there was such a large disparity. Yeah. But Lowndes closed the gap. We saw the offense play a little bit better. The defense for Lowndes played a lot better, and it closed the gap. So overall, total offense, Valdosta had 254 yards to Lowndes 201 yards. But the big telltale sign was third down conversions. Valdosta 6 of 13. That's a 46% third down conversion rate, and Lowndes only 3 of 15.
Yeah. You know, Lowndes showed up in the second half. Their defense really showed up in the second half. And if we're going to take some positives away for Lowndes, is the defense in the second half really stepping up. I mean, they gave up 13 in the first half, none in the second. Okay, we went into half 13-6. We finished the game 13-6. So the defenses for both teams really showed up in the second half. And what a game. You know, what a pleasure to be a part of this. And, you know, I didn't get to see a lot of Winnersville Classics for 25 years when I was officiating, so it's fun to be a part of them now, and now to be an actual part of it. Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it, and maybe we'll do it again someday.
Yeah. Well, thanks for accepting the call and the challenge to help me with this broadcast tonight. I hope you, as a viewer, enjoyed the presentation tonight. If you're a Lowndes fan, of course, you're disappointed. Stay behind your team. They're an improving bunch. You saw how well the defense played, like Scott said, in the second half. So don't give up on your team. Next week, they're going to host Dunbar High before resuming region play shortly after that. But, guys, that's going to do it for our broadcast tonight. Thank you so much to Lowndes County Schools for allowing the Viking Nation to host this event tonight. Thank you so much to the students, part of the Technology Student Association, for manning all the tech work.
Awesome.
You guys did a great job. So I'm Larry Godwin, he's Scott Willis, and we're signing out on behalf of Lowndes football. God bless you, Lowndes County. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.
In the United States Marine are proud to recognize the Valdosta High School.